hello. Hi, everybody. Hi. I'm so normal. We are so normal today. How are you all? Oh my god, is it restarting? Is it restarting? What is playing? Jeez, I have like so many tabs open with this fucking song. We are so normal today. We really are so normal. But yeah. How are you doing? Welcome, Hogu. How is it going? How are you? Wait, what is even playing? I swear I did not make that louder, quieter. God, I have so many tabs open. I need to play that arrangement again. I'm so sorry. My brain has not been working ever since I listened to the full arrangement of that song. And yeah, everything is so fine. I'm so normal about after yesterday. I am so normal about everything that went down. But yes, hello Hogu, how are you doing today? Yeah, I'm so normal. But yeah, how are you doing today? Today I slept in, which was not great. Oh, I should probably hide maybe the new reaction in case there's somebody that doesn't want spoilers or just comes in, but we have a new reaction. I almost did just the suitcase, but nah, I needed him all curled up like that. But hello, how are you today? I don't know how many more streams of this. This might be the second to last stream of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is sad because I don't want it to end, especially after getting to all of this at the end. But yeah, so many things are happening. Yesterday was probably one of the best streaming days I've ever experienced. That dance of deductions and everything, the partners. Yeah, I'm so normal. And I listened to the full arrangement. Hello, Jess. How are you? How are you? I am so normal about these men. What else is new? But how are you doing? I've been like shaken all day between listening to the full arrangement and then just everything. God, I need the spin-off game about them. I need the spin-off of the spin-off. The prequel of the prequel. God. How do they advertise it without spoilers, though? Just like Sholmes and his partner, maybe? The Herlock Sholmes game or whatever? I don't know, but you know. But I'm very eager to see where we go from here. And I'm gonna be listening to this song on repeat once again after it's over. But yeah. So normal. So normal about them. Also, OBS updated and it's gonna take some getting the way that the UI is a little different. Some of the display is a little different, which is weird as hell. Man, I love when the display changes for no reason, but it's fine, no big deal. But yes, we are going into, I guess, another round of investigation. I'm guessing this will be our last round of investigation before it ends. Do you want to see what they look like? Absolutely, I do. Please, I would love to see that. Kazuya and Nuri drew them? I must see this immediately. And I'm dropping frames again. Great, love that. But it's fine. But yes, I must see them. What they looked like as the duo. It's gonna be, if Mikotomo doesn't look exactly the same, it's gonna be weird to see this man, this full DILF. This man that I know is a DILF with the dad bod and the mustache and everything, looking different. But I kind of hope he has the mustache. We'll see. DMing it to me, thank you. Thank you very much for that. Pulling that up right now. This is very important. Everything about them is so important to me. Yeah. I've not stopped thinking about them. Oh my god, my frame rate is dying. That's homophobic. Why? Why is it doing that? If this is like what happened the other day, then that should stop being weird once we get into the game. I don't know if the lighting has anything to do with it, if I make it a little dimmer. Or, oh my god, I just turned off my lights completely. I'm a mess. That's what these men do to me. I'm such a mess. Alrighty. Alright, Discord, are you opening Alrighty. Alrighty. Hang on. Oh my god. Um. Oh my god, camera, come back. Thank you very much for this, Jess. Oh my god, I'm... Oh my god! The boys! That's amazing. I love his little hairs, like it was just one little hair noodle, it's not fully floofy, and then Mikotoba isn't yet a silver fox, but yeah. Do not open that link. Oh, he's 19 there! Oh, wow. I was just looking at the image file, I wasn't looking at the whole thing, but yeah. He's 19 at the earliest, jeez. Looking very twinky there. But he's so floofy, got a little floofy hair. But I love them. I love this. This is everything to me. Thank you so much. There. I'm so normal. Thank you very much for that. Now where's the spin-off game about them? I need this. I very much need this. I need it more than I need the Luigi and the Mysterious Compass spin-off from the Thousand Year Door. I love it so much it's not even funny. I'm joining you there. I will be joining you there once I finish this. Missed the beginning of the stream? No, it's okay. We're just here. Jess just sent me the boys. Yeah. I'm admiring the boys. But how are you doing today, Neria? We are so normal. We are so normal about them. Alrighty. I'll just open the game at least, because that seemed to fix my dropped frames the other day. Once we open the game, I seem to stop dropping frames. So let's see where that goes. Oh yeah, we have a new reaction picture. I reset the 10 years counter, but I did not reset the resolve counter. Should I bump the resolve counter up one? Did I listen to the arrangement? I absolutely did. I did. And I was literally just like giggling and smiling throughout the whole thing. The violins and the tapping together literally made me want to throw up in the best possible way. The arrangement is gorgeous. Add another. Okay, we're doing the whole game for resolve, and then we'll do it for the 10 years. We'll do it per stream. Alrighty. So resolve will be for the whole game, and then 10 years we're way off track. We're keeping track of how many times I said it for the whole thing. Hello, visitor. How are you? How goes it? But yeah, we have our live Jigoku reaction. I almost did the closed suitcase, but him code up like that. Boxman is funny. Funny Boxman. Been a while since I caught the show live. Well, we're going into the finale, and Eugene concept art. Thank you so much. Oh. Okay. Hold on. OBS, please cooperate with me. Alrighty. Let's take a look-see. I see he aged. The way he aged is like that. Very nice. I'm gonna... God. He's so fine. I want him. God. I want him. He is such... Yeah, he is very... I was catching up this morning and he's like, ooh, nice. The gray. Yes! He is so stunning. I looked up before I met Drebber, so we were catching up this morning. Nice, nice. Well, glad to have you here. Oh boy. But this man with the gray just makes him even sexier. And I love it. Beautiful wife. This is my wife. This is my wife, everybody. I meant to make another meme. I meant to, between the Touch of Grey, just for men, yes! #1 Watson's fan. Are you a fan of, like, all iterations of Watson in general? Hello, Ivypool, welcome! Was watching a play Ace Attorney, can't wait to get to Apollo Justice. Thank you! Thank you so much for being here. The escapades, yeah, those are the bonus episodes, right? Yeah, I might squeeze. How long does that take? Because if they're not too long, I might be able to squeeze them in on like Thursday or whatever. I don't know how many more days of like the game we have left. It might just be today and tomorrow, barring any other long investigation or trials or anything. They're short, but there's a good few of them. I will have to play them. All right, I will definitely. We'll play them on stream for sure then. It's just reading. All right, then we'll play them on stream. What was I gonna say? My brain blanked for a second. It's just story stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, the meme. I made the live Jigoku reaction, and I meant to make a meme of Kazuma with the I heart my girlfriend picture meme, you know, like the one with like the purple and pink heart that people put their baby girls in. I wanted to put a picture of new Kazuma in that, the new Kazuma portrait, because he is my girlfriend. Anyways, are we ready to hop on into this? Investigation Part 1. Alright, the game is afoot, my dear fellows, let's go! And the reveal, the Mikatoba reveal. Anyways, the unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. Man, I swear to God, if Jigoku is the true professor and Genshin Asogi was innocent, and this man, did someone say foot? See, yeah, the word foot is in the word afoot. Yeah. Dad, do not touch, he's my girlfriend. That one, yeah. Man. The unexpected halt to proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. Aw, they're home! Oh my God, they have food! That would be quite the, yes. The Genshin impact was the effect that the professor had on, Mr. Van Zeek's life. They have food. They got a whole home meal here. We're celebrating, huh? It's a happy reunion, isn't it? We have returned, my dear fellows. Yeah, I hope you had a great 24 hours. Genshin's impact. Maybe the real impact was the professor we found along the way. Mr. Sholmes, can Naruto-san borrow this sword of yours? Do not touch taking your father's chilies today! Yeah! Yes! We returned, my dear fellows! They just got back from Chili's and now they're gonna eat again. Wow. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. Think nothing of it. I believe you had an even more wearing day than Mikatoba and I know. You could say that. We were on the brink of defeat in court earlier. So this prosecutor Asogi had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Yeah, he's called me partner before. Kinda like you two. We were partners whenever I was on trial. Well, seeing them on screen together, yes! They're on the screen! Live Jigoku reaction. That man is just, oops, I didn't mean to do that. That man is in a box just staring at them. He's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Kazuma's changed. Yeah, that kind of hurts. I'm still sad thinking about how Kazuma is so like vengeful now and everything. Man, wow, they're in the same room and they're standing next to each other. Ah! Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. We got the stress squishies too. I will be playing with these a lot for sure. I mean, it's incredible. To think that he'd even entertain the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. God, he's so pretty when he's dead. When all this started almost a year ago now. Also, happy potential birthday to Susato again! We're still, every day between November 4th and 22nd is Susato's birthday. She has all of the birthdays between there, so happy birthday again, Susato. Mr. Sholmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France.
Well, it is another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what news of Judge Jigoku?
We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man. Poor Professor Mikotoba, this must be quite a shock for him. Once again, one of his old friends did a moida. Oh yes, I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already? I put upon you the matter only yesterday. Before the matter. You put upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well.
Oh, you've had a reply already?
What was so urgent though, Mr. Sholmes? Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present.
Well, that's good news, because supper's ready, everyone.
Ah, and what a feast it is! If I were none the wiser, I would think the trial were won already! Are we gonna talk about family stuff? Cause, yeah, we probably should talk about Iris's father and learn who he really is, and if he really is John H. Wilson, then we should break the news that he's been dead for almost a year now. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak, and kidney pie, Yorkshire pudding. The entire scene with the telegram and the convo is funny because it's implied that Herlock was hiding under the couch or the table to be avoid being seen with him. I love that so much. God. I need fics of like all the missing scenes of them together. I need that so badly.
Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up.
In that case, I think I'll seat myself just here. This place appears to be the only one set with a helping of pheasant as well.
Oh, sorry, Hurley, not there.
Why ever not? Are we in such places this evening?
Yes, and that place is for Susie's daddy.
Aww. For me?
That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Mikotoba.
I see. Well, that's terribly kind of you. Because she was wondering, is she thinking he might be her real father?
It's a shame, really.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean.
Yeah, you're 100% white, Iris, I'm sure.
Oh.
The entire conversation was like, your father looks like a trusty fellow for an unshaven man. He hates the mustache. Sholmes hates the mustache. Oh my god, I love that. Oh yeah, now I have to go back and rewatch that, knowing everything now. Knowing their relationship with the telegram in the hotel. I need to rewatch that and think about what everything means now that I know the full extent of their partnership.
Iris, do you mean?
The foreshadowing? I really should replay this whole game when I'm done, honestly. I want to see all the foreshadowing.
Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened in to the conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking I'd left.
What? Silly man dies. Herlock making comments in the first game about how friendships can surpass international borders. Gay! A misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually, oh, there's our first one actually. Whoa! First one, let's go. Eugene is the funniest man in the whole world on a second playthrough. Oh my god, I can't wait. It turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikotoba are... Oh! Yes, about that, Iris. You know, I
know. You can't tell me at the moment.
plot twist, her father is Clint Van Zeeks.
Oh, Iris. The pheasant is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping.
Oh, no, that's quite alright. Then why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? I can say with some certainty that he was never the great detective's partner. Interesting. So just who is Iris's father? I suppose it's not something we'll be finding out today. But if it's, what other white men are in this game? We have Strongheart, Van Zeeks, but I'm pretty sure he's not Van Zeeks. Clint. So Clint. Gregson, even. One of it's fucking Gregson. So then, let us dine, while our largely pheasantless plates are still piping hot. A fine idea, Sholmes. It all looks absolutely delicious.
Eat as much as you like. There are always seconds.
This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About that telegram from Japan, and about Kazuma. I can't let this opportunity slip away. First, we gotta inspect everything, of course. Oh my god, look at the way he sits! Alright, gay boy. Oh wait, is this all the same? This is the same thing. The great analytoscope. This is the same. Cause it was with the pawnbroker, yeah. Pawnbroker? I hardly know her. Yeah, he's throwing a quiet tantrum because he didn't get any pheasant. Okay, is there anything that I haven't inspected? Anything new? There's all the food. Alright, I guess this is all the same then, okay. Unless I go talk to Sholmes. Hey. Oh my god, his boobs. Stop pulling a I couldn't help it, okay? Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? He's so sad he can't get any pheasant. Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikatoba's refusal to share his pheasant with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circuit for a while and look on with hungry eyes. Oh my god, he's trying to feel... Is he trying to make them all feel guilty?
Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy.
Even though I've played the role of a father to you for far longer. Mr. Sholmes, could I discuss some things with you? Hubby won't give up his food. Aww. Certainly, my dear fellow, I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. No doubt, you're hungry to learn more of my deep love of game. The game. You love when the game is afoot. Also, you all just lost the game. I drew this sprite as the ant with the bun. But the I need to see that. Oh my god, I love that so much. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. You needn't look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? I'm sorry. It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss. Ooh! You know what, I'll take the tomato, I deserve that. But Sholmes, you should be booing Sholmes as well for this pun, okay? I love this pun, which means it's terrible. Tomato, tomato at Sholmes. First off, my boyfriend is alive. Is he gonna say the dog collar thing again? This is hardly the time, Mr. Narhodo, as I'm sure you will appreciate. Oh, is he actually being serious? Oh, sorry, I was throwing tomatoes. Okay, not at me, okay. My attention is entirely drawn to one single matter now. The pheasant. Understandable. Alright, let's chat then. I was throwing okay, I'll accept those tomatoes then. So what was the telegram you received from Japan then? Ah, this? I thank my lucky stars it arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Hiccup. Duplicate follows. The disc. K. Isogi, Aishin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. The disc. Mm-hmm. Are the four of them the Reaper together? But like, we've come across that exact same list before. Mm-hmm. That came up in that unforgettable case last spring, the first time I revealed government secrets in court. And it wouldn't be the last. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be masking monumental intrigue. A plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of the message. K. Isogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. But we didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So why are the names coming up again now?
Yes. Where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes?
Or was that like a, maybe a... I don't know. I have here the message I had wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Judge Jigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names. Need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature.
You asked Inspector Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task for you?
And in my name? I wonder what guys he opted for this time. Yeah, what was he wearing? Did he have Mr. Turtle with him? My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand. Anyway, the list of names was found in Seishiro's office, as Sholmes predicted, so Seishiro must be the one, leaking these secrets, mayhap, I don't know. That mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was...
It was sent to Judge Chigoku! He was the intended recipient.
Asking a man what a man was wearing? Hmm? Wait, where did he say that? Oh, yeah! Oh yeah, asking what another man is wearing? Bit fruity. I don't believe it.
But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies.
Alofe, welcome! We were Mario Karting too hard? Understandable. I hope the Mario Karting went well. How are you? I did formulate a hypothesis about that. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes looks deadly serious for once. Huh. Alrighty. Alrighty. Alright, just that. Hosonaga. Just celebrating your brother's birthday. Oh my god, happy birthday to your brother! Serious Sholmes, yeah. What if this is a hit list, maybe? All these people have some connection to the Reaper and this is a hit list? Did Sholmes know about this disc and want to make it seem like Cosmo is actually dead? Because then he would no longer be targeted by this assassin, but Asa Shin was the one that took out Wilson. So why would they be at each other's throats? Unless there's another John Wilson. 2 John H. Wilsons in this world.
You're a psychopath who bakes for money.
Thank you, Cake Knight. Yeah, long-ass name. The tragedy we had to go through on the SS Buria, like Wilhelm Gosrich, Sigismund Ormstein. Theme of deduction at the end of a chain of logical sequences. Ooh. That's the name of this song. This is the serious Sholmes song. It plays when he's about to do his deductions, too. This is the sound of Sholmes about to read someone for filth. It was all for nothing. Cosmo wasn't dead at all. We are completely taken in by the lie you told us. Your great detective's lie. I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the unmanned study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. Would he been killed as soon as he set foot on British shores then? Or like... I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan.
His remains, you mean?
Precisely, Mrs. Sato. And then, I made sure that Kiryu-chan Kazuma was there. Hello, Cam. How are you doing? How goes it? I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead.
Oh my, you mean...
The arrangement between our two countries was already in place. One university student lawyer and one judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi, I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Do you mean to say that it was all in the aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you... His Shon's capitalized, yeah. How are you doing? Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? The terms of the study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. But you insisted on him going forward with this. It was you. So you just didn't want Kazuma on here. One lawyer and the study tour continued. He said all according to... Yeah, he really did. Huh. So I guess I mean, obviously he worked on the professor case. He knew the professor's real name, right? And I guess he figured this Asogi kid would, you know... An Asogi in Britain was a bad idea. The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. So, you manipulated me? I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend. I don't believe it. Probably knew his name, at least through Eugene. That's, yeah, could be.
But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What are you supposed to be...
She was arrested? Oh no, he said he mentioned Kazuma to him. Ah, okay, that makes sense. It was accidental. What happened to her? Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. Because she's a refugee. So, like... I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought. I seem to remember Miss Usato and I had some rather strong words for her. Yeah. You took a man's life and that will never change, and I hope you'll never forget that! Well, she was certainly not devoid of guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure. I wonder if she made it to America then. Why does my bang look all weird? Oh, you like Genshin? He probably knew the professor was Genshin because, yeah, Yunjin's friend was put to death. True. I don't know, my bang is looking weird. Let me move my bang so I can read that again. There, that looks better. Anyways.
I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain?
The truth is, 12 months ago... You could just say 1 year ago, buddy. Pavla did was commit manslaughter. She did. That is manslaughter. True, in a sense. There was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see.
Oh.
An omen that, at this very moment in time, is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand? We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows. Tell us everything, bitch! Alright, I'm guessing I gotta show him something. Oh yeah, what's this? Can I examine this? You see these little things all over the place, don't you? It's the part on top of a pocket watch that you twist to set the time, isn't it?
It's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without one.
And we have a pocket watch in our court record as well. I wonder whose watch that could be. Although Gregson's watch was wound with a key, but, like what sits on top of a monarch's head? That's a very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually,
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo?
if this is a crown, I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head.
If by monarch you mean pocket watch, then I'm quite sure you have.
She could technically be charged for assault, but I forgive her. Yeah, she didn't mean it. And, the dog, the dog, the cat, the cat, Darka. Darka did nothing wrong. Darka did nothing wrong. Alrighty. She was just having a girl moment. Yeah! There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Chigoku's office that should be searched, so... You obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found.
Kei Osogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson.
I think someone changed it, but on Darka's wiki page, it says used to be a Kazuma Sogi or something. I love that, oh my god. But we only learned these 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of a top secret government communications that were leaked. That's true, yes, but at the time you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year in fact, when you were both still in Japan. I can't wait to tell you about your favorite wiki. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I love funny little wiki trivia. It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments. Good for you, bestie. You're perpetually doing what? How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Sholmes when he has designs on knowing it.
Oh my, Mr. Sholmes! What a fabulous line!
Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient Jigoku in Japan, he just casually admits that he is constantly illegally intercepting government secrets, and she's like, wow, that's so cool! Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. Yeah, said 1 month after that was wired, yeah. That's when... Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, a little espionage. As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partially correct, and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow.
Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected.
Crimes against the government are okay, yeah. As I said, when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names because, you see, there was someone else on the list who I believe to be recently deceased. A Shin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asa Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. Huh. For legal purposes, this is a joke. Agreed. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. And then she went undercover as Josielle Brett, presumably. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list.
Ah, Kei Osogi and T. Gregson.
Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself, but I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain. Ah, so that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. Exactly.
So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes?
Oh yes. Sholmes and I haven't exchanged correspondence for years. Aww. I've recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters, and to the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course. Aww. So Sholmes already knew you existed, probably before you even knew of him, Susato. They wrote letters. Aww. He imagined he's telling stories about Kazuma and Susato growing up. Like, aww.
So, Dr. Wilson is dead then?
Alright, the cat's out of the bag now, finally.
I didn't know.
Oh, Iris. Speaking with kids at the, updating each other of their kids with their letters? Yeah! Susato had been born before, true, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know he wasn't my daddy, but still, that's very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you.
She probably overheard Ryunosuke talk about it a lot, though.
No.
What you just told us, Mr. Sholmes. It doesn't completely time with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis.
A big hole, Mr. Naruhodo?
Ah, yes. You mean about Asa Shin? Asa Shin, I presume.
Oh, of course.
Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Giselle Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel. And now she's actually dead, though.
Ah.
And upon hearing that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I'd formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. What? Topsy? Topsy hypothesis. What do you mean when you say our hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so. Asa Shin was a killer. So this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed. And it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Wait, no. Is it supposed to— oh my god, wait. These are the assassins and these are their targets. Is that what I'm hearing? He's gonna be— I'm gonna turn it on. It's gonna be Bottomsy by the time I'm done with it. See, I was trying not to make a joke about that, but So is Kazuma— so the little bullshit assassination theory that I had from the very beginning of the game. Her visiting student status being merely a front. You're here to speak the automatic thoughts. We were crazy. God. I love being right. How does this always happen?
Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions.
So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asa Shin is because he was the target of an assassination. And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram. Why does this guy have a sword? Is he an assassin? I don't— God. If this happens when I play Apollo Justice, I am going to be so mad. Not Apollo Justice in Apollo Justice's own game. How is he gonna do this to me? What do you mean? Well, does it not strike you? There was another among the 4 who subsequently became a visiting student. But of course, a name you know only too well. You mean— Kazuma! I can't believe that! I am so sick.
He did say in court earlier today. Yes, on 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. And the mission was? The assassination of the monk.
But his order was to assassinate Jigoku then.
Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now. Surely not. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange.
An assassin exchange? How could Cosmo have possibly gotten involved in something like that? I'm like throwing up, dog.
Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange. So, to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target.
Does he still want to... Did he ever want to be a defense attorney? I mean, he could have... Were his dreams of performing the legal system a lie? Has he been training for this for years? Well, I guess it all started when he read the telegram from the letter that said something about his I don't remember exactly what he said, but something about the professor, or yeah, the letter that said that his dad was a serial killer. I guess that's from when it. There's so many easier ways to get. Yeah, why? Why did you do that? Unless you really, this is your true ambition, but then this is something you felt you needed to do. I don't know. Ah!
But what on earth is the point? Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction, thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Oh, yes. Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So the fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest levels. The highest levels?
Don't say that phrase, Sholmes. Do not say this phrase. Because that will send me spiraling for a completely different reason.
These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive, but by contractual agreement.
Everything reminds me of him. God, something's in my eye.
As such, they appeared utterly unrelated, yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme.
So the whole time did Kazuma know, like, the extent of this? Like, did he know Giselle Brett's true identity whenever, he was defending me? With the prosecutor reborn in the background, double homicide, yeah. Yeah.
That disassociation and the safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot.
But wait a minute, Sholmes.
If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Seishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson.
Cosmo was here for Gregson? I have so many thoughts to answer. Okay.
So Judge Jigoku wasn't actually the mark?
Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe.
It's okay, Sholmes, you didn't know.
This was this great mistake that he mentioned, I believe. Yeah.
Mr. Sholmes?
I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position.
Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. So that's why he was going to France. For his safety, not for hers, but... or maybe both, you know, probably both of their safety. Coming to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition, that he'd been transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in.
All right, everyone. That's quite enough of all that serious talk for today. Isn't it early? I mean, look at the time.
Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. What preparations? Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember. Why don't you stay here, buddy?
It is a little bit sad, though. I mean, I liked the idea of you being my daddy.
Alberto! Alberto! Alberto!
Hi.
Alberto!
Hi, Katria. How are you?
Because then Susie would have been my big sister.
I'm sorry, Iris. So who is your dad? Is she, like, really just, like, an orphan that, like, we don't know her parentage? But what if it is Clint Van Zooks?
I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing.
Aww. But you can be sisters from another mister, then.
Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister.
Family! Family! The siblings!
What? Really? Oh yes, without question. So, you'll teach me all the ways you know to throw Runa to the floor?
Yep. Typical typical sister things, yep.
Yes, of course, it would be my pleasure.
You don't have to agree quite so readily. I'm still getting by. You had a test today? Oh no! I hope it went well, though.
Oh, that's... wait a minute. If Susie's going to be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want, Runo.
Oh! Yes, the family! I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother. Well done, Iris. We must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well. Oh, does that make Sholmes our dad, then? Does that make Sholmes our dad? Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Her luck turns to you, Jimmy Kotoba. Think we have to get... Oh my god, yes, they have to get married now. They have to. They have no choice. But they're a whole family now. A comic? Big Papa Sholmes, nar!
Right. I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now, because it's for my big brother and sister.
What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, you heard the girl. Propose, Sholmes! Oh. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance. Teehee, yeah, Iris did the teehee this time. I'll do my very best, of course. So the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths whilst posing new conundrums. Can I scooch into my chair anymore? I cannot. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable while still being a decent distance from the mic. The list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Chigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I'd been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon. 'Cause you have your... Get out of here, Jigoku. You're not part of this family.
Because I was lucky enough to have
the most wonderful family in the world! Their family. I'm tearing up. Oh. It's 2 dads and 2 sisters. Sometimes a family is 2 gay dads and their daughters and a lawyer. Yep. They're a whole happy family. God, I literally feel like I'm about to cry. This part of the music, yeah, and it's the cozy Shulm sweet music too. I'm so okay. Sometimes a family is your boyfriend and his adoptive dad and his daughter and his other daughter and also some British freak. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know the game, but I'm saying that. You know what? It'd be no, Katria, stop! No. I'm so yes, cries in Italian. Wow! Or is that the way that the Bohemia kid cries? All right.
Before we begin today, I have a brief announcement.
221. They're so family.
As with the closed trial 10 years ago, some astonishing facts have come to light in these proceedings. The revelation that the well-known Reaper is actually an organization illegally executing its own brand of justice, and the discovery that a respected yard inspector was at its heart until he himself perished in an assassination plot.
Stop standing up at the bench, dude. Like, the judge is not supposed to stand.
Well, I say to all members of the judiciary here present on this occasion that we will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
I've come to make an announcement. Beric Van Zeeks is a bitch-ass motherfucker.
Counsels, you will undertake this trial with the—
Oh my god, another resolve! But this wasn't Ryunosuke that said it, but...
to pursue the truth to the bitter end.
You're resolved, alright. That's my intention. Number 4, baby. My lord, if I may inquire...
The defendant may speak.
On what grounds is Kazuma Asogi permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor? He has admitted to colluding with the victim in a plot to assassinate an innocent man. He shouldn't be enjoying the privilege of freedom, let alone leading the prosecution. I submitted a written petition to Lord Strongheart, requesting that judgment of my transgressions be delayed by 1 day. You did what? In today's proceedings, I intend to expose everything. My whole life for the last 10 years has all been leading up to this 1 day, alright. Oh my god, why was I at 10 years? Are we at 11? I guess 10 years. Oh no, we're at 2. It's 2 for this stream. We were at 1. Because we reset that counter. I'm dumb. Kazuma? Whatever the outcome of this trial, I give my word that I will accept whatever punishment is deemed appropriate, however severe. Don't you dare get capital punishment. And I suggest you prepare yourself for the same, Reaper. He's just so done. Kazuma's bristling with hostility today. I got the distinct impression we're heading into very dangerous territory.
Is that really even Kazuma-sama standing before us? As an extreme exception to normal practices, I have granted this prosecutor's request. The defense finds this acceptable, I presume?
Yes, my lord.
In that case, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the closed hearing of Beric Van Zix.
The defense is ready, my lord. The prosecution is more than... Is this new music?
Very well then. This preamble has taken long enough.
My voice feels not great today, I don't know why. New theme? Is this truly the beginning of the end?
Prosecutor Asogi, begin.
As you wish, my lord. The prosecution calls the first witness to the stand. Bring Seishiro Jigoku into the courtroom.
Man, whenever I beat a game, I can never decide whether I want to replay it or start a new game.
Me with my voice and wanting to replay this. Alas then, we've reached the final battle. Could we possibly finish this tonight? He's putting literally everything on the line now in order to get to the truth. I know, so true, Ryuji. For real, Ryuji. You don't think I'll finish tonight? Alright. Come on, Ryunosuke, it's time for that steely resolve, because this is gonna test it to the limit. Alrighty. So I'm guessing tomorrow might be when we aim to finish, then? Witness, state your name and occupation for the court. So it was you who issued this, was it? Your subpoena. I did what was necessary. Oh, well, look what the young man has become. I didn't think I'd see the day when you'd take that tone with me, I must say. The final case of an Ace Attorney game being longer than it first feels.
The witness will ensure his responses are pertinent to the questions asked.
My name is Seishiro Jigoku, a Supreme Court judge from the Empire of Japan. 16 years ago, this man came to London as a visiting student. 6 years later, he returned to Japan. He narrowly avoided saying 10 years ago. As well as presiding over the Supreme Court, he is also currently Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs.
I am of course fully aware of Mr. Jigoku and his preeminent roles. I invited him personally to the International Forensic Science Symposium as a representative of his country. I hear he also played a key role in the conclusion of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
He said, 16-6, yeah. He knows we have a counter, yeah, he's trying to avert it. Oh, it was a great honor to be involved in the negotiations. I put all my all into that treaty. Judge Jigoku, I must ask. Well, I never fancy the young murdering student turning up here of all places. You acquitted me yourself, and now I'm a practicing defense lawyer. Yes, and full of self-importance like your friend across the courtroom, I see. You came here to London by the invitation to the International Forensic Science Symposium. But then, without informing anyone of your plans, you took flight to France. Took flight? I've had to object to that turn of phrase, because I took a boat! Then explain yourself, what exactly were the circumstances? Well, I was so much expecting this. And I'm sorry to say, I decline to comment. What? Leaving the country prematurely when I was an invited guest may be questionable etiquette, but my decision is unrelated to this case. I can't be bound to testify.
Unrelated, you say?
That's, well, we still gotta hear everything, you know? I appreciate that a respected police inspector has been killed, for which I offer my condolences. However, being an alien, I'd obviously never met the man, nor do I know the first thing about him. Bull fucking shit. As such, I'm in no position to testify. It's as simple as that. Then when he starts smiling, it's like, oh, he's over 6'5", terrifying. Yep.
So you would run from all this?
I beg your pardon?
This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has ties to another murder, a case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago now.
Sorry, I knocked over stuff in my desk, under my desk. I'm sorry. I can't get comfortable. A year ago in Japan. The murder of John H. Wilson, you mean? Dr. John H. Wilson, I should say. That's right, and you, Judge Jigoku, are at the heart of both cases. The defense has evidence to prove it. Well, Ryunosuke, I see from the look in your eyes that you are resolved to carry this through to the very end, too. Does that count? Resolved? Resolve with a D? Kazuma brought the D to the resolve. Let's see your evidence, then. What proof do you have that Seishiro Jigoku is involved in this case?
Take that!
This is a telegram detailing a communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. The communication contained 4 names: K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson. Uh-oh. Menacingly stroking his beard. You little... Where did you get that? I see how he broke the witness stand. In Tokyo. From your office, Judge Jigoku. What? How on earth did you... What's this all about? Why is my name on that list? Did he not know? About the exchange for this? The list of 4 names follows a certain pattern. T. Gregson and J. Wilson are the names of victims. K. Asogi and A. Shin are the name of assassins. No. A year ago in Tokyo, Dr. John H. Wilson's life was taken in a Western-style restaurant in the capital. The culprit was found to be a visiting student who went by the name of Giselle Brett. Think about my fic where I wrote the Seisho as a side character and I had him stroking his beard as a nurse. Amazing. But her real name was Asa Shin, a professional killer sent on a mission to kill from Great Britain.
A. Shin and her victim, J. Wilson.
And the murder that just took place here in London was the counterpart to that crime. An assassin sent from Japan, also a visiting student, Kazuma Asogi, whose victim was the British police inspector Tobias Gregson. And so does he know? He does not actually seem to know.
K. Asogi and T. Gregson.
Feels good to be correct. Yes, Apollo Justice is blessing us.
One assassin from each country to kill a target residing in the other. What exactly is the defense suggesting?
These 2 cases of murder, one that took place in Britain and one in Japan, were masterminded by a pair of individuals from each country as a form of assassin exchange. And the telegram the defense has acquired is proof of this international contract to kill. What? He does not seem to know. The telegram was found in your office, Judge Jigoku. In other words, the mastermind in Japan was you! Judge Jigoku, what's this all about? And you, Kazuma, you lied. During yesterday's proceedings, you acknowledged that you'd accepted the assassination mission, but the mark wasn't Judge Jigoku at all. It was T. Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard. That's shown by the name on the killing contract. Very impressive, Ryunosuke. But actually, I didn't lie. His increasingly worried sprites. Yeah, sorry, prosecutor, but perjury is a crime. It is, yeah. Coverage on with the tails gets pranked. Stop, do it! That would be amazing. The name of the target I was ordered to kill never passed my lips yesterday. The idea that Seishiro Jigoku was the mark came entirely from you. Ah! You deliberately avoided saying a name.
The defense claims these 4 names indicate some sort of international exchange, assassin exchange.
I love he's lying by omission!
I'm sure I speak for all present when I say that the very idea seems utterly absurd.
How do we know you're not the one on the British end, buddy?
Well, Mr. Jigoku, what do you have to say for yourself?
They are lawyers, yes. His silence only goes to prove his guilt. That's why pleading the fifth never made sense to me. It is, in a sense, I mean, I guess by not technically admitting your guilt, you can't be, like, charged, but in a way, you're saying that you not gonna say anything. If you were innocent or had a way to prove your innocence, you would say something. But by pleading the fifth, you're not. Like, see, that always boggled me. May we bless.
There's another very important point that this new development brings to light.
Kamatali, stop! I'm just thinking, okay?
There's now a distinct possibility that the scene of Inspector Gregson's actual murder was in the witness's cabin aboard the SS Grouse.
Means you can't provide evidence they don't have or say something that can get prosecuted for a different crime. Oh, okay. Okay, you can't say that. Okay. It's because you can say it's something that lawyers can use to smear your name even if you are innocent. I see. Okay. We're still Mario Karting! Judge Shigoku, you have to testify now. To refuse would put you in contempt of court. There's no need for quite a vicious stare, young man. Very well then. As a parting gift to you all, I'll tell you everything I know.
It seems this Japanese gentleman has an information that the court must hear about the alleged assassin exchange and the events of the night of 31st October. Present your formal testimony now.
As you wish, my lord. So you could be like, I didn't kill him because I was smoking weed with my friends. They can prove my alibi, and you might be innocent in the murder, but now they can... I see, yeah. I see. Because you don't want to implicate yourself in another thing. I see. The advantage in court is to the defense side. You can be found only if there's proof, and the more ambiguity, the less proof. That makes sense. It's true that the Kazuma Asogi was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago. The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was a condition of the British study tour. However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside my cabin at all times. If there had been a shot fired, the crewman would have heard it, so clearly I can't be involved. I mean, as the partners, we found a bullet hole in the wall. So you admit it then, as this communication suggests, there really was an assassin exchange arrangement between Britain and Japan? A political endeavor at the highest levels. Not something I can discuss here.
To use such a worthy practice as a foreign study to coerce somebody to commit murder? It's the most appalling thing I've ever heard.
Appalling? Well, it's easy to judge. Easy for you to say, Mr. Judge.
Pardon?
Asogi had a reason for taking his sword to that British inspector, you know. Because he was the one that put away Genshin Asogi, huh? Which is why he accepted the mission in the first place. Isn't that right, Counsel?
Kazuma-sama?
Judge Jigoku, if you are the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain. I'm not obliged to divulge that information. As I said yesterday, I've killed nobody. I freely admit that I accepted the mission, but on the night the plan was to be executed, I backed out. In short, this assassin exchange that the defense has identified is unrelated to the events of this case. The crucial point is this. Your police inspector can't have perished aboard that steamship in Dunkirk. Because if he'd been shot in the cabin, it's inconceivable that as a member of the crew wouldn't have heard it, unless you paid them off. That's right. Gregson was killed after returning to London in the room on Fresno Street. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, Barak Van Zieks. The prosecution's accusation remains unchanged.
To think that a seemingly innocent foreign exchange program was a facade for such Machiavellian dealings. Clearly it's a plot only a government minister and high-ranking judge such as the witness could hope to execute.
Well, I seem to recall that it was someone on the British side who controlled everything.
Be that as it may, it is not the place of this court to pursue this villainous assassination exchange plot. We are concerned only with the tangible events pertaining to the murder of Inspector Gregson.
What if you're trying to deflect and you're the one on the British side, my brother in Christ?
Is the defense clear on that point, counsel?
I mean, what other high-ranking British government people do we know? I'm assuming it would be somebody we already know at this point. It's Beppo! Beppo's the mastermind! No! Man, what if it is Beppo? Yes, my lord. I'll keep that in mind as I cross-examine the witness. Alrighty. I don't have any... I didn't really get any... I didn't... Yeah, I didn't... Oh, I see. So this thing does belong there.
What do you think, Mr. Soto? I feel sure I know exactly what'll fit here. We're about to see that the little round component is actually part of Inspector Gregson's broken pocket watch.
Really? I was just thinking precisely that too.
A perfect fit.
I knew it. Perhaps you knew it.
I'll make a note of this new information at once.
Alrighty. I'm gonna try this already and see.
Objection!
Oh, oops. I should probably press my badge. Oopsies! No, Cosmo's already admitted to taking on this incredible assassination plot, but even so, hearing it confirmed by somebody else is still a real shock.
It's unforgivable. Using Cosmo-sama's feelings to manipulate him into agreeing to such a despicable plan?
But I think Cosmo manipulated Judge Jigoku too. He completely double-crossed him.
Oh dear. It's hard not to see that as a stroke of brilliance on Cosmo-sama's part.
One way or another, though, Gregson ended up dead. I really think that the murder must have happened aboard the steamship.
So you mean...
Judge Jigoku must be lying.
I know I shouldn't let my emotions cloud my judgment, but you must destroy him, Mr. Naruhodo.
Alrighty.
Hold it!
Outside your cabin in the first-class area of the SS Grouse, you mean? Unfortunately, Your Honor, the defense has cracked their ass, and we're about to crack yours, baby. Yes, that's right. Not least because there was a murder of a student passenger earlier in the year, I imagine. The liner operators have taken to posting a crewman outside every first-class cabin door. I can confirm the presence of the crewman guard myself. What do you mean? Because I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk that night, I witnessed it with my own eyes. There was a well-built crewman standing guard well, why are you as a man calling another man well-built? Kazuma. Do you think before you say things ever? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. At that particular time, of course, I'd gone to the ship's dining room for dinner. The inspector and I asked the crewman to allow us into the cabin while we waited for Judge Jigoku's return. The dog, yeah, we got Whitney in here. Whitney Houston. I suppose Inspector Gregson was there in his capacity as the Reaper. He was intending to take the witness's life. Exactly. As I've said numerous times now, I had no intention of killing anyone. So the crewman let 2 potential assassins into the cabin he was supposed to be guarding. Not the most convincing of centuries, really. In truth, those were my thoughts too. Is that a new sprite? Ooh! But anyway, I stayed to talk with Inspector Gregson for a short while. And then I left him there and made my way off the ship alone. Was the guard still at the door when you went? Yes. He glared at me as I walked past. You see, that proves it.
Hold it!
The crewman who was standing directly outside your cabin door, you mean? That's right. A muscular man with a permanent grim expression on his face, he didn't once move from that spot. To be honest, I thought he was a miserable fellow. But as it happens, he's a vital witness now. There's no doubt that Gregson was killed by a gunshot, and it's inconceivable that a crewman standing just outside the cabin door wouldn't have heard that.
But wait, well, what about the ship's enormous steam engines? The noise of them could have drowned out the sound of the gun being fired.
Sadly, young judicial assistant, that won't wash.
Oh!
You will recall that my cabin was in the first-class area of the ship, which is also, of course, the quietest. Don't imagine for a moment that it's anything like steerage where the judicial Okay, fuck you. This little dumbass scroll, yeah, what a loser. I want him.
I didn't mean...
Don't insult her. Don't insult my judicial assistant. But a hole like that made by a bullet was found in your cabin, Judge Jigoku. Oh yeah, that. That's compelling evidence that a gun was fired in there. What's that? A bullet hole? Oh yes. You're talking about what the detective uncovered in the wall yesterday, I presume. That was obviously a rotten panel eaten out by woodworm. No doubt he didn't find an actual bullet. That's the hole in this argument. Sadly, I was unable to arrange for the crewman to be brought back to Britain with me. But obviously, if a gun had been fired in my cabin on the night in question, as the defense implies, I would have been arrested on the spot and would have never made it to Britain in the first place.
Very true. The witness's logic is sound. Since no gunshot was heard from the witness's cabin on the night in question, we must assume that the witness is telling the truth.
Although, we don't have it in here, but the pipe, the speaking pipe thingy was stuffed, so maybe it was muffled, so the sound of a gunshot wouldn't be, heard, you know?
I'm glad you've seen sense, my lord.
Man. I think the reason my throat and my mouth feel like dry and everything is because I went for a walk today and it was kind of warm, and I don't know if like allergies are still like a thing at this late into the fall, but I don't know.
Hold it!
A year ago, when Kazuma was still in Japan then. Correct. It was at the examination center for applicants for the study tour that I approached him. I'll never forget it. I'll remember exactly what you said. You just came out and asked to be forthright if I considered traveling to Britain on an assassination mission. Takes a short walk, throat injured, yeah. I don't know why, my mouth feels like drier than usual today. And I feel like I can't catch my breath as well either, and that's why it's kind of hard. I feel like my voices are not as great today. I don't know.
Surely not.
I do feel a tiny bit congested, I guess. I thought it was a joke at first, of course, but then it was made clear to me that if I didn't accept, I wouldn't be considered for the study tour. Weak slap. So you agreed to it just for that? So he did want to go on the study tour? I mean, I know how much you wanted to study in England, but assassination? The Empire of Japan had accepted a proposal from the British Empire at the time, an agreement to send a student from each country to the others to deepen cultural understanding and friendship. But behind the scenes, the chosen students were to be given assassination missions. I had no choice but to accept the proposal that originated from my British counterpart.
Why? Why didn't you expose the plot there and then?
Was he afraid of worsening relations?
Britain acknowledges no part in these alleged misbegotten dealings.
Professor, I'd do anything for an A. Yes, murder, yes.
I advise you not to make spurious allegations, Foreign Minister Jigoku.
As a witness, I am bound to tell the truth, my lord. Anyway, I picked Asogi and explained the details of the plan to him.
Hold it!
Why Kazuma? Why did you pick him as the assassin? He was the most capable of all the applicants, and in addition, I knew his desire to travel to Britain was very strong. In fact, it was almost more than a desire. It was his whole purpose in life. As his best friend, I can certainly attest to that. Just for this mission. Just so he can go to Britain, jeez. Man, Phoenix goes to law school for a boy, and then Kazuma goes to law school solely for murder. The discrepancy between the Naruhodo and Asogi families.
And of course, we know the reason behind that. He was determined to find out for himself the truth about his father, Genshin Asogi.
There's nothing I wouldn't have done to get here. Be that agreeing to assume the role of an assassin, or betraying people's trust. Well, you certainly did a fine job of betraying mine, Asogi. For his murderous father, I mean, fair, yeah, he did accept this for his murderous father. Murder does run in the family, I guess. But why was Inspector Gregson the target? I have no idea. Those were the orders from Britain. I was in no position to question them. You have no idea, really? I find that hard to believe. Oh, do you?
Judge Jigoku was once a visiting student here in Britain himself, of course. Perhaps he has some connection with Inspector Gregson from that time.
The defense really ought to catch up. Are we about to add to the 10 years count? But the fact that the assassin exchange has absolutely nothing to do with the case under scrutiny here. 40 minutes recruiting Asogi! Ah! I'm eepy!
Hold it!
I already pressed everything, didn't I? Or this. I presume you're referring to the incident that occurred during Cosmo's passage to Britain in January? Oh yeah, this. Once again. He's just taking a nap. You know, I can admire this now that he's just, he really is just unconscious here. He really is just sleeping. That awful tragedy that took place on the steamship. Word arrived at the ministry some 2 weeks after the ship's departure from our shores. The visiting student had been killed, but his body had somehow gone missing in Hong Kong. The news was wired to me from a detective I'd placed on the ship to accompany the assassin. Obviously, Cosmo didn't actually die at all, but he did lose his memory, including all details about his special mission. Isn't that... No! He's alive!
Did you not consider dispatching another assassin at that point?
That wasn't possible, simply because that black-clad young student over there had already put himself forward as Asogi's replacement, and there was no way to stop him from reaching Britain. So this farce of a study tour turned out to be, we made it into a real thing. So if Strongheart really was behind this, he's my #1 suspect for the British person that's behind this. Is that why he just like threw Ryunosuke into the McGilded trial like right away? Because there were no actual plans for a study tour, and he was just like, oh, go do this case. Your Honor, I only thought the body was dead, but since he lives, like, can I comment on how pretty he is? My hands were completely tied.
So Mr. Shom's strategy worked perfectly.
He predicted everything that would happen. Months later, my memory returned, but I never intended to go through with the assassination mission anyway. So you were playing me right from the outset, were you? Is that it? I'd sooner be guilty of that crime than of taking someone else's life. What an honorable man you are. I was prepared to do whatever I had to do in order to get myself here to Britain.
This line of questioning has gone on long enough. All the court should be concerned about is in the testimony given by this witness are details relating to his relationship with Inspector Gregson and the victim's murder.
In that case, As I've already made perfectly clear, I had no connection to the man or his death.
And you have some means of substantiating this plea?
Okay. If a shot had been fired, I mean... There was this. This was found on Fresno Street. I mean, this is the gun we found at the crime scene. When Cosmo defended Ryu in 1-1, he wasn't just risking studying abroad, but his chance to find out the truth about his father, who's... Yeah! But he did that because he cared for Ryunosuke so much, didn't he? He put that on the line for his great friend. Who else wants to throw up? And when I asked about whether the records, yeah.
Crotcherry's thin and built for speed, so...
Damn. I doubt this is... This doesn't have anything to do with, the scene on the ship, particularly, so, Is there something in here?
Hey, guys. My ass itches.
Jeez. Crotch area and itchy ass. Fellas is a kid who's prepared to give up the thing he dedicated literally his entire life for Ryu. Really. He really did! He really, really did! Wow! Oh, this. All crews are 10 p.m. Because I didn't finish reading this.
Objection!
There we go. As the court has heard, there was a crewman posted outside Judge Shigoku's cabin. However, we can be sure that contrary to the witness's claim, the guard wasn't there at all times. What? I have here a notice of a particular event that was scheduled to take place aboard the steamship on the 31st. What? Where did you get that? It's evidence gathered by Mr. Herlock Sholmes and his partner. You were acquainted yesterday, if you remember. Herlock Sholmes again. According to this itinerary, after leaving the port of Dunkirk at exactly 10 p.m. and for a period of 20 minutes, all crewmen of the SS Grouse were to gather on deck for an evacuation drill. All crewmen were away from their posts. And during that 20-minute interval, of course, any gunshots emanating from your cabin would have been heard by no one. Angry man. In summary, Judge Chigoku, you had ample opportunity to commit the crime.
Objection!
At a 20-minute window of opportunity, that's an excellent find, Ryunosuke. But it amounts to nothing. Why? Because the witness clearly stated in his testimony that no incident occurred in his cabin. Unless you have some decisive evidence that can show his testimony to be false. Your accusation is nothing more than conjecture.
Very true. Well, counsel?
Inspector Gregson was killed in Judge Chigoku's cabin that night. I'm certain of it. Because the defense has the evidence to prove it.
You will present the evidence for the defense at once, counsel. What proof do you have?
Alrighty. Would this be it then?
Take that!
Judge Jigoku, this was found in your cabin yesterday.
What is that? The crown of a pocket watch?
A pocket watch. And if you'll observe, the victim's pocket watch, which we know he treasured, is missing precisely that part.
It can't be.
Moreover, this crown is a perfect fit on the spindle protruding from the victim's watch. Now, the fact that this was retrieved from Judge Jigoku's cabin tells us that the victim's watch almost certainly broke there. Rar. During the 20-minute evacuation drill, in the cabin occupied by you, Judge Jigoku. Those eyes are scary. Well, you're razor sharp, aren't you, you young murderer? Stop calling me that!
Objection!
Expertly maneuvered, Ryunosuke. And your argument sounds entirely plausible. At first. But rather like this pocket watch, it's full of cracks. But it must also write twice a day. And I believe Judge Jigoku feels the same way. I was wrong to acquit you earlier in the year. I know what you are. So he's literally saying I should have been convicted of murder last year even though I was totally innocent. Like my ass, your argument is full of cracks. Why are you staring at my ass, Kazuma? There's been a lot of, I mean, we did just examine the unfortunate flat ass yesterday of the sailor. If I'd known that it was a result in anyone having to listen to this drivel, I would have declared you guilty just to spare the world your ridiculous bombast. Jesus Christ, man! That sounds like an abuse of power.
I think it's clear that the witness will have to give further testimony.
You're back.
Ah, you're back! That's where the crack in the ass is. When you hear what actually happened in my cabin that night, you'll notice the pitfall into which you stumbled.
Prior to your renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point. The fact that this part of the victim's watch was discovered in your cabin means that you acknowledge he was there, I presume.
Yes, I do.
Very well then. You may proceed to give your formal testimony about what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of 31st October.
Of course. As a man of the law, I have no intention of obstructing justice. I call bullshit on that, bestie. Oh boy. I am, like, congested or something. I do feel like I'm getting out of breath more quickly tonight. Like, it's harder to get, like, my breath when I speak. That's not good. I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustachioed Englishman was there, foolishly waving a gun at me. I soon took care of him with an Ippon Seoi throw, though. He couldn't wait to run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder. The inspector was clearly killed, having returned to Britain, because his body was found in London. Wow.
Ippon Seoi?
A common jujutsu martial arts technique in my country. It's not called a Jigoku takedown. I was careful not to use too much force, but the man obviously landed too heavily for his watch to take. So, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you? Just because he's like, oh yeah, I flipped him. The fact that the pocket watch was broken in the witness's cabin in no way proves that the victim's murder took place there. Arg, I'm dead. Seishiro Slam! I've no doubt the inspector intended to kill me, but he didn't manage to pull the trigger. Yes, because he was merely the tactician, not the Reaper's hand of death.
Well, the testimony appears to make perfect sense as far as I can tell.
Let me express my deep gratitude for your understanding, my lord. But if this testimony holds, Judge Jigoku will be determined to have no involvement in the case, and we know that's bull.
Well, counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time here on a cross-examination,
But I still have a right to one, buddy. Sorry, my lord, the defense has a right to cross-examine, and I don't intend to squander that. You're an embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you're beaten.
In that case, proceed, Mr. Norohodo.
Right. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, actually. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. I'll be back in a moment. I'll be back soon. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Let's do this. Alrighty. You'd have guessed. That guy, you say Gregson was waving a gun at you, and then you say you flipped him. I wanna look. Did he have any other kind of injury?
Hold it!
But there's no evidence that proves the victim ever returned to London alive. Just take a moment to think that idea of yours through now, Stripling. What? If the inspector was killed on the steamship in France, how on earth could he have gotten back to Britain? When people die, they are killed. Their bodies remain at that same spot. It's a devil of a thing. Well, then, obviously the culprit must have moved the body. How exactly? Carrying a corpse off a ship in your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think? Well, yes, that's true, but they squished his body into a little tiny ball and fit it in the trunk. Scream. Typo in the Twitch chat.
All passenger luggage is inspected when it is unloaded from arriving vessels. And I would like to think The border police would query the corpse of an English gentleman as hand luggage.
If the murder had taken place aboard the ship, you'd imagine the body would have been disposed of at sea. There would be no sense in risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain. That's... It hurts to be on the other end of it, huh? That's killed that idea, then.
But perhaps not.
Miss Susato?
You'd heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewmen posted to guard them.
Kazuma, give me strength.
Which would mean that the culprit had no opportunity to dispose of the body at sea.
Yes, that's true. So transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative. Timmy, you really are new to this, aren't you? I thought I'd been perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain in words you can understand. I think I ought to alter my testimony, with your consent, of course, my lord.
I have no objection. State your amended testimony now.
There's no possible way you could have transported the corpse.
Hold it!
There's no possible way you could have done it, you say? There's an idea. Think about it, Stripling. All passengers and crew disembarked at the same time and passed through the same checks at the border. The symposium guests... Wait. Is Gregson the fourth man in a box? Is Gregson in this? Oh no! Gregson intruded on the family photo? Oh no! Are you serious? The symposium guests were then driven straight to the hotel in carriages organized by the ministry. Hi, Gregson!
And we met you as soon as you arrived at the hotel.
Did you have a body in your suitcase? So you did. Well then, remind me, did I have a corpse over my shoulder at the time? Did anybody comment on how heavy the case was? What? No. So, we're in agreement then. I couldn't possibly have brought the inspector's body back to Britain. I think you could have. Unless, of course, they developed some clever device these days to instantly move things from A to B. Funny you should say that.
Professor Harebrain's invention didn't actually work, if you'll remember, Mr. Naruhodo.
Rip that memory. Yeah. Yes, of course.
The defense has become unusually quiet, I noticed.
Yes, because there's really nothing more to say. Nah, there is. There absolutely is. Not that we get the photo as evidence, and there's a chorus of "Hi, Gregson" in the Discord! I love that.
Whenever you drop a teacup in the office and it breaks, you don't say, Mr. Naruhodo must have been murdered there, do we?
Is that a veiled threat about what might happen to me if I break another one?
And the fact is, that Inspector Gregson's body was found in the little room on Fresno Street.
If he really was killed in Judge Tikoku's cabin, the body would have... I guess, was there ice in that suitcase too? Cause like, at what point does the body start to rot? Cause will we have been able to smell it? Alrighty. Man, fucking Gregson is there. This is my favorite joke. Hi, Gregson. I like to keep my luggage cool, yeah. Hi, Gregson. Hi, Gregson. There's no possible way you could have moved Inspector Gregson's body, you say? I would say the opposite is true. And what's that supposed to mean? This is reminding me of Miles Edgeworth driving with Bruce Goodman's corpse in his trunk without even knowing it, except this guy did know it. Far from it being impossible for you to do. The transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back to Britain is something only you could do. Wait, so does that also mean that in the same suitcase here, if he went back to the ship, does that mean he was sitting in the same suitcase that, that Gregson's body was in? Because that is really morbid. Was Mr. Jigoku inside the corpse suitcase in the reaction? What are you talking about, Ryunosuke? As well as being a judge, Mr. Jigoku is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. Which means he's exempt from having his luggage searched when he enters the country. And it's kind of fun. Yeah! You put a dead body in. We learned that when we first met you upon your arrival in London. We didn't know that until then. Well, those passport checks. Hi, Gregson. Look at Gregson in the background. And luggage searches at the border took a rather lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Ah, I knew you were jealous. Ha ha ha. I presume you recall this, Judge Jigoku? Man, you take a family photo and it ends up being used against you in a court of law. Never take family... Murder in general isn't a pleasant thing to do. That's true. It's a photograph we took in the foyer of the hotel to mark the occasion. As the court will note, you have with you your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside.
Mr. Naruhodo, surely you're not suggesting...
The writing is so genius. The way they just felt like conversation. Yeah, like little things that feel insignificant. Like, the fact that this was added as evidence made me a little worried. But then a little, yeah, the little passing thing about him being with his ministerial status too. Just little things that end up being important. I love that. I am afraid I am, yes. 3 days ago, when we were chatting innocently with the new arrivals from Japan in the hotel, the body of Inspector Gregson was just meters away from us inside Judge Jigoku's trunk. Damn.
Order in court! I'm skeptical, counsel, that a grown man's body could fit inside even the largest travel trunk.
Need we show you, Mr. Strongheart? It could. I did it. Because I happen to know that the witness- There he is! There he is! The witness himself, a man of considerable size, a man who is partial to all things large, fits inside his trunk. And verifying that would be extremely simple, wouldn't it, Judge Jigoku? Jigoku and William Afton would be besties over this!
But inside his trunk? How horrifying!
Man in box number 4! You'd be amazed what you can fit a man into. Man in box number 4! Yay! And after we'd spoken with you at Great Waterloo Hotel, you had the opportunity to visit the apparent scene on Fresno Street, taking your trunk with you in a cab to deposit the inspector's body. I don't have to listen to this nonsense! Oh, why am I yawning? Dr. Corey, the coroner who examined the body, has confirmed the possibility. She's acknowledged that there are signs that steps may have been taken to disguise the true time of death. Give it up for man in box number 4! Woo! The onset of the body's decomposition could have been delayed by storing it in a refrigerator.
Counsel, as I remember explaining yesterday, refrigerators of the requisite size are few and far between.
Yes, I'm sure they are, but one place they're certainly found is on large ocean liners. Ooh! Such ships are equipped with electrically refrigerated cold rooms to keep food fresh on their long sea voyages, and the SS Grouse is no exception. Professor Mikotoba told me about it only yesterday. Well, Judge Jigoku? However much you prolong this debate, you can't eliminate the truth. All the evidence points to you being the killer. Ha ha ha! Well, this is all very heartening. I can see that it was a wise move, letting a Sogi and you embark on this study tour. What are you talking about now? Logical reasoning, of course. All court proceedings will be built on logical reasoning in the new century. And I can see that you've both laid firm foundations for that already.
Judge Shikoku, please, stop diverting attention from the issue at hand. The defense has made an accusation against you. How do you respond?
At some point, the killers need to just not be witnesses. Yeah. They need to do the transporting thingy that Hairbrain was doing. There's really no need for me to respond, is there? I didn't see shit, sir. And if they get caught perjuring, you know, they've already committed murder. Perjury is a far less serious crime, so why not throw a little perjury on top of that? Because before you can even begin to answer the question of when the victim was killed, you must first establish one key fact. Where was the victim killed? It's quite logical. The actual scene of the crime. The prosecution's stance is unaltered. The killing took place on Fresno Street when the gunshot was heard. As the accused, Barak Van Zeeks shot the victim at point-blank range.
Since no tangible evidence exists to disprove the prosecution's claim at this time, the defense's deductions amount little more than an elaborate fairy tale.
I'm afraid that's how the logical reasoning the British are known for really works, young stripling. The victim was shot in that little room on Fresno Street and died instantly. I'm afraid it's the prosecution's claim. That's the only fairy tale here. How can you say that? Quite simply, because that claim directly contradicts a certain piece of evidence in our possession.
Very tantalizing, counsel. I think you'd better explain yourself to the court, don't you?
The prosecution claims that Inspector Gregson died instantly when he was shot at the scene on Fresno Street. But evidence clearly contradicts that claim. Okay. Let's see. I mean, we already did the watch. It wouldn't be this again, right? It's Benui. Would it really be the windy thing again? I doubt it. Evidence that he was not shot, that he's not killed instantly at Fresno Street.
Take that!
Yeah, I didn't think. Okay, fuck you. Yeah. Bro, you're Japanese yourself, buddy. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm not the only Japanese around here. Do you even have a mirror? Bro. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't be the same thing again. Evidence that he was moved. Can't you hold your hand steady enough to point it out? Why are you looking at my hands, buddy? Okay, it's not the passport either. Alright. Huh. Something to indicate that he was not killed in the scene. I mean, we've just figured that this was the firecrackers that, like, caused this, as opposed to a gunshot. I'm a little stumped. This is a tough one.
Take that!
Yeah, I figured that wouldn't be it.
Take that! Take that!
Yeah, I didn't think. God damn it. It's not the passport. Oh, this is Clint.
Take that!
This one is, I think I could use a tiny little baby hint, actually. I'm a little bit stumped. Can I just use Benui? Would it be this? If his body's curled up from being in the suitcase and rigor mortis set in, he would be stuck in that position, wouldn't he?
Take that!
Haha!
A photograph of the victim in the very location you claim he wasn't killed.
Yes, but the point is, the posture of the body itself. Because if he was shot and then fell, he'd presumably fall back and not be curled up like that. If Inspector Gregson had been shot there in that room, it's out of the question that his body would have been curled up in a ball like that. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but your logic is flawed. You could have easily just adopted the fetal position due to the pain of the shot, which subsequently proved fatal. Instant death, buddy. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Judge Jigoku, but it's your logic that is flawed. What? According to this autopsy report, the victim died instantly. He would have felt no pain, much less have been able to draw himself into that position. Ah! Which begs the question of why the victim's body is curled up in that way. Looking like you in the suitcase. Though the answer should be abundantly clear by now.
You're suggesting?
The inspector's body took on that posture ahead of its arrival on Fresno Street, before it was coldly turned out on the floor from the inside of a large travel trunk. No!
You're quite right. The shape of the body. It looks exactly as if it had been kept in a confined space.
Judge Jigoku, present your trunk for examination. I believe it's very possible that it will contain traces of the victim's blood. Arf! Is he gonna? I hope he breaks the witness stand. I want to see him do that again. Present my trunk. I refuse. What? On what grounds? I'm the Minister of Foreign Affairs from the Empire of Japan. I shouldn't have to put up with this treatment just because of some stripling's baseless accusations. They're not baseless, buddy.
In other words, Judge Jigoku, there is blood in your trunk.
I decline to answer that. As the Minister of Foreign Affairs, He's just like, yeah, I don't care about your stupid fucking privileges. At this moment, you're not a government minister. You can't just ask someone to present their shrugs to an audience. Yeah. You are a witness in a trial in Britain's highest court. I don't care who you are or what your status outside this courtroom might be, but you will not withhold information. Nothing is more important than the truth. Ugh. Ugh.
Order in court. Well, Mr. Jigoku, what's it to be?
You can't be serious. You did it? Have you no shame at all, Kazuma Asogi? What? Very well. I admit it. I did bring the inspector's body into the country. Inside my trunk, exactly as postulated by the defense. What? You?
Dear God, outrageous!
So it was you? No! I admit to nothing more than what I've said. If he tries to... of killing the man, I have certainly no recollection.
What on earth is that cryptic statement supposed to mean?
I merely disposed of the inspector's body, which was left in my cabin. In order to avoid unwanted attention. I swear to God, if Cosmo really did it... although he said he didn't, but... as the judicial assistant over there pointed out, I had no chance to throw it into the ocean. So, I decided my only option was to bring it into Britain with me and dispose of it somewhere else. You can't still deny it! If you didn't do it, then who on earth did kill the man? As you know, there was one other person in my cabin that night. He had the opportunity. And moreover, he'd already accepted a mission to take the inspector's life.
Oh,
That's right. Who else could it have been? It was you, Kazuma Asogi! You. I never thought you'd stoop to this, Seishiro Jigoku. You've taken the words straight out of my mouth. Prosecutor Kazuma Asogi. You thought that by leaving the body in my cabin, you could pin the crime on me, did you?
well, the prosecution counsel has already admitted to visiting the witness's cabin on the night in question.
Kazuma, no, we are not guillotining my boyfriend. Or he's my girlfriend, actually. How are you, Reaper? Yes, on an assassination mission, no less. You wouldn't. I swear to God. But we did find the sword slash. But Kazuma wouldn't use a gun. I had to wake up to see the trial. Oh boy, yeah, things are happening. You've heard my testimony now, and that's all I have to say on the matter. I'll admit to nothing more.
I don't believe this.
It's 3 a.m. Get some sleep if you need it. Sleep is important.
Counsel for the defense? What is your position now? The court awaits your response to the witness's assertion. The assertion that on the night in question, the victim's assailant was in fact Mr. Kazuma Asogi.
This isn't the dead end it seems to be. The answer's right in front of me. Comes down to Jigoku or Kazuma. Both of them had the opportunity to kill Gregson, but only one of them did it. And I'm just a step away from proving who. Very well. The defense is ready to respond to the assertion put forward by Judge Jigoku. The idea that the victim's murder could have been committed by Prosecutor Asogi is... goddamn. I need to be true. I need to be honest. Because, I mean, he did slash the sword. The tip is missing, and it's in here. So clearly there was a slash. But would Kazuma use a gun? He used the sword. We have evidence that he used the sword, but not the gun, but the gun was the fatal wound. So let's go with this. Well, it is possible, my lord. What? you? Do you think I want to believe it? But the fact is, I can't say with complete certainty what actually happened because I wasn't there. You disappoint me, Rionos. This hurts more than anything else. This is the most painful thing in the game.
If I may, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps that's why we form opinions based on evidence.
So true. And actually, we have evidence that could settle this argument conclusively. The defense would like to present evidence.
Before you plow on, feigning ignorance of what just occurred, Counsel.
Alright, I'm reloading because I don't want him to be, disappointed in me. Okay, yeah, I'm reloading because I don't want him to say he's disappointed in me. That hurt. That really hurt. Judge Jigoku, let me remind you of something you said only a few minutes ago. You claimed that logical reasoning is the future of the judicial process. It is, no question. Well, logical reasoning can prove something here. Namely, that it would have been impossible for Prosecutor Sogi to commit the crime. What? I'm going to bat for my boyfriend.
The court will only accept an argument that is supported by compelling evidence. So present what you have, Counsel. What proof is there that allegedly demonstrates the impossibility of Prosecutor Sogi's involvement?
Prelude to Pursuit. Let's go. I'm gonna go with the sword. Oh, it's the band! I'm going with the sword. Because there's evidence he used a sword, but that was not the fatal weapon.
Take that!
You're making the evidence weep here, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, huh? Every piece of evidence has a role to play in arriving at the truth. They're not playthings you can toss around the courtroom for entertainment! Oh shit. He really called his... I'm not treating your own sword like a plaything, my dude. I'm sorry. You can't upset Susato-san or else... Yeah. I mean, there was this. It wouldn't be this, would it?
Take that!
Damn. I'm really making such a fool of myself in front of him. Wow. Can we just take his word for it and be like... I mean, obviously I have to do logic and all, but...
Take that!
Oh! This itinerary for crew members of the SS Grouse, my lord. This is conclusive proof.
An itinerary? How does that prove anything?
Judge Jigoku, the moment you acknowledged that you found the victim's body in your cabin, this itinerary suddenly became much more significant. What? Why? On the night in question, as always, a crewman sentry was on guard outside your cabin door. As long as he was there, nobody could have fired a shot inside the cabin. Absolutely, because it's inconceivable that the guard wouldn't have heard it and come to investigate. So that tells us that the crime must have taken place when the guard was elsewhere. And that narrows it down to the 20 minutes just after 10 o'clock as indicated on the itinerary.
Yes, I see no flaw in your reasoning so far.
But the crucial point is this. When the evacuation drill took place, the steamship had already put to sea from the port of Dunkirk. Oh, yeah, because clearly the murder could have only been committed by somebody who was aboard the vessel at the time. But Prosecutor Sogi stated in yesterday's proceedings, I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life, so I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. Righty, yes, yeah. Which I'm sure the court will agree is conclusive proof that Cosmo Sogi couldn't possibly have carried out the killing. Yeah! You're innocent men, normal men. No, absolutely not. I don't accept that at all. What do you mean? The boy's just saying that to exonerate himself. We can't trust that he really disembarked the vessel. Obviously, after he left my cabin, he hid himself somewhere nearby on the ship. Just waiting for his chance to come back. No, that's out of the question. Isn't it, Kazuma? As the defense rightly recalls, I disembarked the vessel and spent the night in a boarding house in Dunkirk. And as I said yesterday, I signed my name in this accommodations register book. All extremely easy to verify and undeniable proof. No, You can forget that you're a judge or a government minister. Time to get the court an honest answer as a common man. Please let him break the witness stand. I hope to God he breaks it. You killed Inspector Tobias Gregson and transported his corpse back to Britain. Then you dumped the body in the room on Fresno Street and made it look as if the murder had happened there. That's what really happened, isn't it? Seishiro Jigoku? It was that damned trial 10 years ago. That's when it all began. Autoplay? Is he gonna break it? Looking back now. Oopsies, first I'm gonna do this. My fate was decided that day. I was doomed already. Please break it. Yeah! Yes! Oh my god! Damn! It's over! My life is over! Yes, the ultimate foreign ministry! Pink Mage, welcome, how are you? Jeez, get fucked, bench! But not literally. A British assassin to eliminate a professor in Japan, a Japanese assassin to eliminate a detective in Britain. Both assassins will use diplomatic immunity to evade conviction and return safely to their homelands. The assassin exchange request arrived from Britain about 1 year ago. Though it was hardly a request, it was a demand. I forgot about stream what I missed. He just broke the stand! Is this the judge from yes, this is the judge from Japan. And he's a Moira. He got so angry that he unlocked gravity reversing powers. Oh my god! So he could have been there for Sholmes' deduction in case 3. He could power the anti-gravity machine. But yes, this is the Japanese judge. He really forced Cosmo's hand to try and make him a murderer, holding the Great Britain trip over his head to get answers. Yeah! This man is vile. That man is vile. Man. That, you decided to recruit Mr. Asogi. Is this a new theme too? But things didn't go according to plan. Your chosen assassin never made it to Britain. And you found your son unable to dispatch a replacement because I was already on my way to Britain at that time in Cosmo's place. And that left me with one only option for carrying out my obligation. To eliminate the mark myself, personally. Of course, there was but a single opportunity for me to do that. The International Forensic Science Symposium. Was that Russian? Was what Russian? Oh yeah, that was from Case 2. Yeah, when someone put Russian writing and made it seem like Kazuma wrote that. It says wardrobe in Russian. That's right. I decided it would be safest to carry out the plan before my arrival in Britain, so I enlisted the help of my British counterpart. I made arrangements for a pretext that would take the inspector to Dunkirk. Are you gonna name this counterpart, bestie? To lure the man in, he was given a sham mission by the Reaper. What? The Reaper. Haha! So he really was the Reaper, I guess, then.
But there's only one person who could have done that. The mastermind of the entire operation, the Reaper himself.
So, that means that the assassin exchange was all planned by the Reaper.
So the Reaper is this high-ranking government dude. Does that mean Lord Strongheart is my #1 suspect for the Reaper now? Because he's my #1 suspect for his British counterpart for putting together this assassin exchange. So did he start spreading these rumors because he was pissed at Van Zieks for taking the professor case from him all that time ago? And then I don't know.
I'm not at liberty to say anything about my British counterpart.
Bailiff, cancel him!
Anyway, the inspector accepted the Reaper's mission and dutifully infiltrated my cabin on the steamship. It was all a trap designed to lead him to France and his own death.
Oh, how awful!
It was past 9 o'clock when I returned to my cabin from the dining hall that evening. I didn't give him time to attack me. I choked him until he lost consciousness. But there was a guard just outside the door, so I left it at that for the time being. Even the slightest noise might have aroused suspicion, so I bided my time, waiting. For the 20 minutes after 10 o'clock, I had intended to finish him by strangulation, but the moments before I had the chance, he suddenly came round and went for me in a reckless move. Pew!
Is that where the shot on the wall came from, then?
I'd received the British-issue gun 16 years earlier, being a member of the judiciary as a visiting student. I never imagined I'd have to use it for something like that.
So the revolver belongs to you, does it?
Did they let you take that back to Japan?
Then the victim was killed inside your cabin on the SS Grouse, which begs the question of why you arranged for his body to be discovered in the room on Fresno Street. The young judicial assistant over there has already answered that question. There was no way I could take the body up on deck to throw it over the side. It's precisely where all the crewmen were gathered for the evacuation drill. So before the first-class cabin sentries returned, I took the corpse to the refrigeration room. And then on arriving in Dover, you concealed the body in your trunk in order to smuggle it past the border police. I knew I needed to take steps if the police were to be convinced when the body was found in London. In that case, you must have known. You must have had intimate details of Inspector Gregson's intended schedule. Yes, my British counterpart sent me everything I needed to know.
Your British counterpart is the mastermind of the Reaper, huh?
The inspector was due at Fresno Street at 5 o'clock that afternoon, in order to meet a man by the name of Hugh Boone, from whom he would take back his police identification. I decided that man would be the perfect person to set up as the culprit. So I took a hackney carriage over there with the body still in my trunk. That must have been just after we took this photograph with you at the hotel then. Hi, Gregson. Yes, I wasn't expecting a welcoming committee. I was more than a little nervous.
Mother Strongheart doesn't accept the trial and says you're guilty, just sees. Oh my god. Hi, Gregson. Oh jeez.
On Fresno Street, I spotted a young girl selling firecrackers. Miss Venus, of course. I conceived of the candle trick there and then, so I donned a simple disguise and approached the girl to buy enough fireworks to replicate a gunshot. What sort of disguise? For some reason, the inspector had a bright red hairpiece in his own traveling case. Can I see you in the hairpiece, please? So I put that on, though I suspect I drew more attention to myself than I would have otherwise.
The hairpiece we found at the scene. The inspector had it ready for the Red-Headed League investigation.
I only arrived at the room around 5:15, so I quickly placed the body on the floor, moved to the notice board, and set up my little candle trick. I arranged it so the firecrackers would go off with a bang around 15 minutes later.
So that Mr. Boone, who was due to arrive at 5, would walk straight into a trap?
Except, at the last moment, I made a careless blunder. What was that?
I imagine it was the bag of fish and chips.
What? I didn't notice it had fallen out of his overcoat pocket when I moved the body to the refrigeration room. Oh, it's the fish and chips! I put it back into his pocket the following morning, but, well, it seems the warmth of the heated cabin had accelerated the decay of the fish. Anyway, that's... Man, he couldn't be buried with the infinite fry. F's in chat for the infinite fry in particular. That's everything. All the sort of details of what I did. And Van Zeke's, he went to pin that on Hugh Boone, but Van Zeke's just happened to be there at the time and he kinda fell in there. Fry!
I've heard enough. We've arrived at the truth about the murder of one of the country's most capable and respected police inspectors. The witness will be tried in the coming days.
May the chippy live in all of us.
For a crime of such a vile nature, you can expect the most severe penalty. An exchange of assassins? What a foolhardy idea!
Mr. Jigoku, one last detail. Who was your counterpart in Britain? Who was the mastermind behind the assassin exchange? Nothing you say now can make matters any worse for you. Just tell us. Enough! I've already told you that I cannot say! Does he not know his name? Does he not know the identity of, does he just know him as the Reaper and not his actual name? Even though as things stand, you may very well never set foot in your homeland again. What are you waiting for? Can't we get this over with now? It's finished. All of it! How many times do I have to tell you I forgot? I'm finished.
Kiryu-chan!
Looking cool, Joker!
Looking cool, Strongheart. Hello, Vice. How are you? Sorry, I'm just rolling out my shoulders. My back is feeling a little... I need a little stretchy real quick. I'm sorry, I'll be back in a moment. I'll put on our favorite song while I do that. Oops.
This man before us has admitted to the willful murder of Tobias Gregson.
I need a little stretchy break. Doing okay? Glad to see that. Curious joke. Anyways. Be back in just a couple minutes. I need to stretch out. Maybe that'll help with my breathing too. But yeah, move your own bodies too. Moving is good. Moving your bodies is good. Do it.
Alrighty. I'm back. I needed that.
I need someone to just like literally step on my back with like cleats. Like it's I need like a nice deep massage.
No talk him, he angry.
Whoa!
Seiichiro Goku. It is the opinion of the court that you should be found.
Guilty! Guilty as fuck!
And may I remind all those present of the strict confidentiality demanded by this closed court.
But this is the verdict for... I mean, Jigoku's not the one on trial. So shouldn't you be ruling not guilty for... I mean, this is for Jigoku. Where's the ruling for Van Zieks, though? I hope this isn't like a technicality because he ruled guilty, he took the skills that way. The person on trial is gonna be found guilty when the person on trial is really Van Zieks. Shall not needed, I guess. Yeah, you couldn't see anyone step on- yeah, someone was literally stepping on me there.
Moments ago, Mr. Jigoku State signed a written confession, admitting to the murder of Inspector Gregson and the subsequent conveyance of the body. In short, the defendant's innocence has therefore been established beyond doubt.
But he still thinks he's the Reaper.
Oh, wonderful! Well done, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, thank you.
Is something wrong?
I'm just a little troubled by his silence.
The true identity of the Reaper of the Bailey and this extraordinary assassin exchange. We do remain in the dark about these mysteries. However, insofar as the indictment brought against the defendant in this trial, we have reached a conclusion.
I have every intention of pursuing both mysteries. As a prosecutor.
As you wish. Now for the formal adjudication. I hereby declare the defendant, Barak Van Zieks.
Objection!
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, Reaper, not at all like that. Don't make any jokes about me like that. Please don't. I literally meant just like a massage. The assassin exchange. It quite literally is an assassin exchange. Mm-hmm. The prosecution calls for adjudication to be deferred.
Counsel?
The accused's innocence hasn't been fully established at all. And therefore, it would be wrong to deliver a verdict at this time. That is the prosecution's unwavering position. What?
But Judge Jigoku has already confessed.
Nevertheless, Barak Van Zieks has committed crimes for which he must be punished. And this is going to happen at the same trial here?
Well, it would appear you have information that the court needs to hear, Prosecutor Sogi.
Barak Van Zieks is back. Certainly, the murder of Inspector Gregson was actually carried out by Seishiro Jigoku. But it's clear from the witness's testimony that he was coerced into complying with the plot. Into the sick, merciless assassin exchange. That may be true, but... So what I want to know is who coerced Jigoku? Who was pulling the strings? The victim went to France, having been ordered on a mission for the Reaper, only to be murdered. In other words, the mastermind behind the assassin exchange is someone in a position to give such an order, like Strongheart. As we've already established, the Reaper himself.
Well, certainly. That would appear to follow.
The prosecution hereby formally accuses the man in the dock, Barak Van Zieks, of being the Reaper of the Bailey! And furthermore, I'm going to prove his guilt beyond all reasonable doubt. What? Oh, Kazumars.
Order! The Reaper of the Bailey is a long-standing mystery, Counsel. Are you suggesting you have some new information with which to build a case? Scotland Yard has already investigated Lord Van Zieks very thoroughly in that regard, and they found no evidence whatsoever to substantiate the claim that he is the Reaper.
Perhaps, but circumstances have now changed. What do you mean? It's already been established that the assassin exchange was negotiated with Jigoku by the Reaper himself. Which means we now have a new line of questioning by which to identify definitively the man's identity. That is the prosecution's intention here. I must say I'm surprised by quite how tenaciously you appear to want to besmirch my name. You are guilty of an unforgivable crime, Lord Van Zieks. And I will bring you to justice for it, whatever it takes. Scotland Yard spied on him, and all he does is read. Yeah, all he does is read 3 letters. Yeah, he kept reading that same letter from Harebrained over and over again. Like, what else can this man hide? Are we, like, we're not just gonna out him to the court. I mean, I feel like it's pretty obvious already. That explains Kazuma's silence before. There are no straight people in this courtroom. We'll stop at nothing to finish what Lord Van Zieks unwittingly started 10 years ago.
Very well. Whilst it's extremely irregular, I will on this occasion grant the prosecution further opportunity for witness testimony.
I only just now feel like my voice is starting to warm up.
The defendant will disclose any and all involvement he had with the Reaper and the Assassin exchange.
I thank you, my lord, for guiding the court so wisely. You're just covering your ass, aren't you?
I hereby declare this court to be in session for a supplementary hearing.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How'd they get a new witness stand? Did a new witness stand just spawn there, perfectly placed for his boot? Yes, Canadian is the... They have backups. Yeah, I think after the Jigoku incident from 10 years ago, they prepared. Pray turn a blind eye to discourtesy if I verify this vile and unremitting accusation. Hasn't soured the contents of my hallowed chalice. Lord Van Zieks! I first had to suffer the pseudonym of the Reaper 10 years ago now. And ever since that time, I've endured the weight of the implied guilt that's gone with it. But he's sick of it! So I welcome the chance to testify now and crush those allegations once and for all. Good. Then let justice decide, Lord Van Zieks. The prosecution seeks to begin building its case by calling the accused to the stand as the primary witness, in order that he may answer to the accusation brought by the prosecution that he is the Reaper of the Bailey.
And what says the defense?
10 bailiffs had to carry it in! One sturdy enough for the leg, yeah. Pray forgive, these bitches won't leave me alone. They really, yeah. How much ballet do you have to do? Probably quite a bit.
Putting the defendant in the witness stand can be extremely dangerous. And Kazuma-sama is so emotional at the moment, he's not thinking logically.
You're right, that he's not himself. But I knew it would be like this, and I came here today to determine to face him through whatever that might be, as a lawyer and as his friend.
Then that's what we must do.
The defense has no objection, my lord.
Man, a watermelon.
Man, a watermelon.
Very well. Defendant, you will take the witness stand and give formal testimony on the subject of your involvement with the Reaper and the Assassin exchange.
As you wish, my lord. I do not know shit about the Assassin exchange because I am not the fucking Reaper of the Bailey. I've never taken the life of another, nor have I instructed another to kill. I've been investigating the truth behind the Reaper for years, and I was aware of Gregson's involvement. That's the reason why I went to Fresno Street that day, and how I came to discover the body. The point is, no common thread exists between myself, Gregson, and Dr. Wilson. Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me of being behind the Assassin exchange. And I'm supposed to poke holes in that?
So you deny all accusations by the prosecution? Both that you are the Reaper of the Bailey, and that you masterminded the Assassin exchange?
I acknowledge the public at large believes me to be the Reaper. However, that's a fallacy which I alone am in a position to forswear. Naturally, the prosecution believes the testimony just given by the accused to be untrue. Ryunosuke Naruhodo? Yes? Let me ask you, why are you here? What really brings you to this courtroom? Because I wanted to see you. Because, first off, it's my job that I inherited from you. And, I mean, you also said that you wanted to go up against me in court, so... Is this your what do you stand for moment? I stand for pancakes! He's here for you, literally! a desire to uncover the truth. Even if the truth proves your client to be guilty, his sense of justice and morality and the truth, and also the pretty boy across the aisle.
Ooh, boy.
Ooh, boy! Yes, indeed! From all my experiences in this courtroom, I've come to realize something. The truth can't be hidden. Sooner or later, it will come out.
None of these people know that I was an undesirable child.
Wait! That line with the Van Zeek silent sprite thinking in his head, none of these people know that I was an undesirable child. Although he was not an undesirable child as far as I know. He was just the baby brother of Clint Van Zeeks. That line on, oh, that is him? None of these people know that I was an undesirable child. I studied in the shadow of my brother for so long, and then he just got himself fucking killed. And I've had to fill this hole with him as the shadow behind me this whole time. With him as the Reaper, the unholy hand smiting the acquittals. Man. Yeah, I want you. Yeah, I just want him to be happy. You know what? I just want him to find peace. So it's always my intention. You on the pancakes one? I was quoting an Ace Attorney blooper. What do you stand for? I like pancakes.
Ooh, boy.
Ooh, boy, I stand for pancakes. Yeehaw! It's always my intention to work with my client to pursue the truth. I want you to remember what you just said.
Enough dilatory chatter. Counsel for the defense. Proceed. Counsel for the defense. Stop yodeling and proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord.
You say the dumbest shit.
I know exactly what you're thinking, Kazuma. I know you're just waiting to point it out. But I'm not gonna let you! The contradiction you're convinced lies somewhere within this man's testimony. What if I choose not to press him on anything? Well, I should press everything, I suppose.
Hold it!
So you're not what the general public refers to as the infamous Reaper of the Bailey? Exactly. Don't imagine for a moment that the court will be satisfied with a one-word answer on this. I realize that. If you're intending to comment on every sentence, this could take a while, Kazuma. Give me strength. Did you find it disturbing, though? That one by one, defendants who'd been acquitted after your unsuccessful prosecution were killed? Let me answer that question. Oh boy, let me answer that question by posing another. If one by one, defendants who'd been acquitted after your successful defense were killed, would you find that disturbing? Disturbing? I couldn't possibly say how that would make me feel with a one-word answer like that! Exactly. Well, that told me. But even though I'm not the Reaper, that doesn't mean I ignored all the hearsay.
Hold it!
You say for years. How long exactly? Or is he gonna say the number? Since the very first time the Reaper's influence was felt in this courtroom. There he goes! Oops. Almost accidentally closed stream for a second. Oopsies. And your investigations led you somehow to Inspector Gregson, you were saying? I didn't want to believe it. He was a personal acquaintance. We'd worked on cases together in the past. A friend. A friend? Van Zeeks had a friend? It felt like such a betrayal, but I demanded permission to search his office at the yard without his knowledge. Which is when you found his secret notebook, is it? It's when I first learned the location he noted only as Grouse, and the appointment at 5 p.m. on the 31st. And that is why it was at the club. Though I didn't know the significance of those details at the time. So now, we're at the nub of the matter. As it turns out, the significance for me personally was very unfortunate.
Hold it!
But why did you go to that specific location? I thought that if it was the Reaper's headquarters, then by turning up there at 5 o'clock, I would catch whoever was involved red-handed or red-headed. Sadly, all that was awaiting me. He was at the— yes, he was at the club! Damn.
Hey, guys. My ass itches.
Alright, buddy. The inspector's corpse. Yes, even though it wasn't designed for you, you walked straight into the trap set by Jigoku. Exactly. Jigoku had intended to implicate Hugh Boone, but unhappily for me, I arrived at the scene first. A ridiculously careless blunder. Moved on to just throwing insults around, I see then, Kazuma. Think what you will, it doesn't change the truth. I am not the god's damned Reaper!
Hold it!
There is a link between you and Gregson, though. Yeah, leave Brittany alone! Of course, we were close acquaintances. We'd worked on numerous cases together. I consider the man to be a mentor of sorts. He taught me a number of important lessons. He did? Such as what? Where to buy? Thank you, Gregson. I hope you pass down this knowledge so that it lives on. That was convincing. Dr. Wilson was a coroner, of course, but that was some time in the past. And in any case, I understand it was several years ago now that he was invited to work at a Japanese university. That's right. He was a visiting professor at the Imperial Yume University in Tokyo. It should be unambiguously clear, then, that no link exists between myself and him. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for the fish and chips, Rex. Do you think he would make a fish and chips blog? Like, he would have a food blog about the best places to get fish and chips in, like, modern day? That would be, like, his side thing that he does alongside his work. Man, never forget. It sounds plausible enough, and I want to believe it. Something about this just doesn't quite sit right with me. Clearly, therefore, there's no reason to suspect me. Okay. I mean... Wilson... Gregson... Then Zeke's.
Objection!
Hi, Clint. I need their DTS game to be in Japan so they can be— Yes! Oh my god, that would be amazing. Please! God, I need more DGS.
What's this? An autopsy report? Wait, is this 10 years old? From the autopsy of Lord Clint Van Zeeks.
Alright, I feel like we're gonna get a lot of 10 years in this section here. What? My brother's autopsy report? I'm pleased to see the defense doesn't intend to run from the undeniable truth. How tall is, Barrock?
Order in court! What reason do you have for presenting a 10-year-old autopsy report here, counsel?
6 something? Nice. This the autopsy. I can't speak. My mouth is still dry. 6th floor, nice. There's an indelible link between Inspector Gregson, Dr. Wilson, and the defendant. Not that accursed name again. The professor. Yeah, his height, stream is because of one. Yes, we are talking about his height. Correct. I've personally researched all the court records relating to that case. I know that at the time, autopsy was considered sacrilege to the victim's souls. And for a member of the aristocracy like Lord Clint Van Zeeks, it is unthinkable. But someone implored the powers that be to allow the autopsy to go ahead. Inspector Gregson. He declared that he was certain he would obtain conclusive proof from the procedure.
And it was Dr. Wilson who conducted the autopsy.
His signature is clearly visible on the document. As promised by Gregson, the autopsy did indeed produce evidence. What is this evidence? Evidence that conclusively proved Genshin Asogi was guilty of the murders. In my brother's dying moments, he mustered all his remaining strength to leave that vital clue behind. Uh-oh.
Indeed. That was the key to indicting the professor for his crimes, and the conclusive evidence that convicted him. It enabled Lord Van Zieks here to avenge his brother's senseless death with a marvelous victory in court.
Not this pose. The badge. That's 100% Clint's badge. Has it been said if that's Clint's badge or not, but I choose to believe it is, even if it's not been said. A marvelous victory, was it? Are you in the right headspace to receive information that could possibly hurt you? I wonder if that's really true. Then will literally prosecute the person they think got their father killed instead of going to therapy. Yeah, Kazuma did. I don't know how mental health treatment was back in the day. Probably just going to an asylum. Barrock's no good, very bad day. Sag. Please get some therapy. Everybody in this courtroom needs therapy. What? Could the same be said if it turned out that the key piece of evidence in question was in fact fabricated? Alright, Joe Dark. If the inspector, the coroner, and the prosecutor all colluded together. Hey Barrack, what if we just talked about your most traumatic experience all day? Yeah. Wouldn't that be cool? And you know Cosmo's enjoying this. To cast an innocent Japanese man as a mass murderer and send him to his death. That's outrageous! And now, 10 years later, for some reason, the secret has been threatened and needs protecting. Which is why the inspector and the coroner had to be silenced, isn't it? By someone in power in Japan and in Britain, using the two killers recruited for the assassin exchange. I wonder if part of it is, you know what, I think he might be cooking here. Cause I'm wondering if Jigoku is the true professor. 10 years! Haven't heard that name in years!
Order at once.
10 years ago, my father was convicted in this very courtroom as a mass murderer to be sentenced to death. But it was all a sham, and I swore to myself that I'd prove it. Which is why I had to come to Britain. Whatever the cost! He's like, I do not give a shit, my brother in Christ. You'll have to forgive me if I feel compelled to toast this vengeful Nipponese tendency of purpose here. Jeez. He's like, I have 10 years for my vengeance! Sorry, one question. I have to really answer a question for someone real quick. I have to tell my brother something real quick. Alrighty. However, he who fails to quash his emotions in the courtroom has failed as a lawyer. Right? Ah! Come on, Kazuma, you know this won't wash! You're claiming your father was misrepresented in a trial that took place a whole decade. Does the whole decade count? Does this count, or does it have to be the words 10 years? Barrock's real talk. You think that counts? Oops, I bumped my mic. Man. Alright. I think it has to be the words 10 years. I'm kind of leaning towards the words as well, for continuity's sake and everything. You must see that without evidence, that's nothing more than a wild accusation. As it happens, I have evidence. He dodged the counter. Yes, he skirted around it.
As the court has heard, I crossed the channel to France with Gregson on the 31st. I went with him on the pretext of being the assassin recruited to kill Seishiro Jigoku. But my true intentions were to make the inspector tell me the truth. What truth?
We don't count 616, yeah, true, yeah.
The truth about the evidence. And he acknowledged what I've already deduced.
Oh wait, I was reading that in Van Zeke's voice.
There's a closely guarded secret about what went on in the autopsy tent.
Alright, there we go.
What? A secret? I know nothing of any secret. While we waited for my supposed mark in Jigoku's cabin, I drew my clan's illustrious sword, Karuma, before the inspector's eyes. He very quickly understood what my true motive was. Right, I see. That is Ogi's young lad, are you? And what? You gonna cut me down with that thing? Is that it? That'll very much depend on the answers you give my questions. I want to know what really happened 10 years ago. Alright, 10 years ago, woo! The truth, that's all.
Whoa, so yeah, brief 6 to 9 and now it's gone.
Before we get into that, let me make one thing clear. I still believe your father was the professor. There's no doubt in my mind. But unfortunately back then, we didn't have the evidence we needed to make the crime stick. So, you admitted then, the evidence used in my father's trial was fabricated. Damn. It was for the good of the country.
Just like Joe Dark.
Anyway, I was just following orders.
So someone ordered you to fabricate the evidence.
What exactly did you do? Speak! I'm not saying another word.
It's a shame that Gregson doesn't have a chin, otherwise Kazuma could put the tip of the sword underneath his chin and like lift it up like that. Man, that's one privilege that Gregson will never know. How sad.
Even if your life depends on it. That's right. Even then.
Did he slice the fish and chips? That's reserved for Ryu, true. Yeah. Won't say another word until I get a lawyer. I'm your lawyer now, bitch. What if he went for the fish and chips? If he sliced the fish and chips in half, that would have been unforgivable.
So that's when the tip of the sword broke.
Oh, Kazuma-sama.
If the results of Clint Van Zeke's autopsy were fabricated, then the investigating officer Gregson and the lead coroner Wilson must have known about it. And they can only have been ordered to pervert the course of justice in that way by one man. The man leading the case for the prosecution, Baruch Van Zeeks.
In other words, the defendant did have cause to organize this exchange of assassins.
Me when I hear say, literally.
Exactly, and as was established earlier, it has to have been the Reaper himself who liaised with Jigoku in Japan to arrange the exchange.
Do you think Baruch would go within 100 feet of Japan by choice, dude? Do you think he would willingly Okay, Kazuma! Do you hear yourself? You're suggesting that Baruch Van Zeeks colluded with a Japanese person. Have you not seen the man and the way he talks about the Japanese? Why on earth would he cooperate with one? Bro. The facts aren't facting.
So it follows that the Reaper's true identity can only be that of the man who stands accused in this courtroom today, Baruch Van Zeeks.
It's like Jersey, you just don't touch some places.
Objection!
As a Japanese person, every time he says that, I'm saying he's giggling using it as a real slur. Yeah, yeah, because that is just like a older way of saying that. Because like I figured like in the very first case, didn't Nosa say he was like a member of like the Imperial Nippon Army or something like that? So like I figured that was like just a descriptor. Yeah. He's silly.
Kazuma Asogi.
What?
What you've just told the court, are you absolutely certain of your facts? Did Gregson really fabricate evidence for that trial 10 years ago?
Talk about Waluigi? Oh yeah, Waluigi! Man. The Waluigi. I heard it with my own ears. His shameful admission. Oh yeah, 10 years ago! Wah! In that case, I know. The name of the Reaper. What? Lord Van Zeeks? I gave no such orders. I know that for certain. Which narrows down the remaining possibilities to one! Lord Van Zeeks isn't the one behind all this, and yes, there is only one other person who could have done something like that. I believe I know who it is too. The person who was originally supposed to be the was it an order from the prosecution that he said? He said he was following orders. Didn't have the evidence. Following orders. I just had a feeling this name was gonna come up. The true identity of the infamous Reaper of the Bailey. I mean, I'm thinking... I'm thinking Strongheart. I don't think... Because he was supposed to be the original prosecutor. It's break time. Hello, yes, welcome back. The Reaper is Susato. Wouldn't it be funny if I did that? Iris, this little 10-year-old girl has been organizing, yes, ever since she came out of the womb, she has been organizing these killings. You know what? It's gotta be him, right?
Take that!
The only person who could have arranged the assassin exchange and manipulated the autopsy results is Lord Chief Justice himself, Lord Mail Strongheart. What? Lord Strongheart? Yes, it's true that 10 years ago, the defendant handled the prosecution of the professor in court. But he only took over the case after his brother, Lord Clint Van Zeeks, had been killed.
I can only assume that this is the most inappropriate joke in British judicial history.
Who's the judge? I mean, he's still the judge. Surely his trial's not gonna be fixed. His brother, yeah, Damon Gant, yep. Literally Damon Gant with the fabrication of evidence. Damon Gant. Really deserving of the voice.
I'm the judge, so fuck off. Guilty.
Well, Lord Van Zeeks, 10 years ago, I was very new to my profession, but I had a burning desire to avenge my brother's death, so I pleaded for control of the case. Imagine being in a real court and be like, fuck it, the judge did it, literally, yeah, we're up to 10 years now. The investigation to that point, the supplication of the lords to allow my brother's corpse to be examined, all the evidence I was given, the autopsy reports, it all came from you. I've spent my life since then believing I was in your debt for the way you stood aside and let me handle that trial. But all I see now, I was very much mistaken. It was a hugely influential force that caused the inspector and the coroner to break the law 10 years ago. And that same force we still felt a decade later on the other side of the world by Seishiro Jigoku. Lord Strongheart, everything falls into place when we recognize that you are the Reaper of the Bailey. Three leg slams in one trial, but two in this segment, but 3 in this trial overall. The court awaits your response. I love the implication of that. Like, he just puts his leg up. He's like, the court awaits your response, my lord. This may very well go down in British judicial history, but I assure you, it is no joke. Yeah, who'd have known he had so much power to influence the whole system of 2 countries, yeah. He wants to show the gum on his shoe. The gumshoe! My god, is that how Gumshoe evolved? He evolved from the gum underneath somebody's shoe and that he just, like... He's a continually evolving, like, specimen? Consider this a formal accusal by the defense.
It doesn't warrant a response.
So you're pleading the 5th, so you're guilty! He's like an amoeba, what a dick move, showing the Gumshoe. It's the descended evolution of Gregson, no!
A formal accusal? Don't be absurd. The defense's claims are utter nonsense. A wild fantasy at best.
You're not going to defend yourself?
You claim there was some wrongdoing with Lord Clint Van Zeek's autopsy?
Yes, get Santa in here!
That's utterly untrue.
Why are PJs called, are PIs called gumshoes? It's an old, yeah, it's a detective thing. The soles of the shoes are made with gum rubber. Ah, cool. I see, cool.
Objection.
I'm gonna expose myself here, but do you know where I first heard the word gumshoe? As a Gutsy Gumshoe, Jane Crocker's, what was it? Not the spur, not pester something. You know, it was her username, Gutsy Gumshoe. Anyways. But I heard it from Gregson's own lips. He admitted it. Homestuck jump scare, yep. Only 39 times.
And where is your evidence?
I am Jake English. With my little fake British accent, I am Jake English. What?
Gregson's dead now, unless you were thinking of summoning a ghost to the stand.
I mean... Are there any Fae girlies here? Are there any Faes in Britain? Has the Karayan school of channeling already been established at this point? Can we channel him? Which, like, where they put him in the amount of gum that stuck to their souls. You mean to say?
I forget how the system works in your little
Okay, fuck you.
But in the course of the British Empire, without evidence, there is no case. I have no intention of entertaining some wild fantasy that can't possibly be substantiated by anyone or anything.
Ugh.
Order! Following Inspector Gregson's murder, and in light of Dr. Wilson's death as well, there's really no one left who could testify about the events of 10 years ago.
Oh, there is in the musical? Karayan girlies in the musical at this point? Yeah. He's literally just, I mean, he's like, I'm the judge, I can do whatever I want. So that was the real purpose of the assassin exchange.
This court has no business raking over the course of a case that was concluded a decade ago.
No, right, he subverted it again.
The accusal brought by the prosecution and the defense is categorically denied.
Alright, fuck you. Can we put Mikotoba on the stand or something? Wait. Mikotoba was there. He was there for the autopsy. Put him on the stand.
Fuck you, guilty. My machinations would go unnoticed.
Oops, actually. Oops. Put the DILF on the stand, please. Put the DILF on the stand.
I take it there are no objections.
He is. Reaper, you missed the best thing ever yesterday. The best thing in the world happened. Yeah, there is somebody there that was present, bitch! Kazuma. He's more or less waited his whole life for this moment. Is there really nothing else we can do now? Is there no other avenue we can go down in pursuit of the truth about what happened all those years ago? If only there was someone who could testify about Clint Van Zeek's autopsy. There is. He did arrive with Gregson, in a sense, yeah. He did. He's gone to extraordinary lengths to cover his tracks, even so far as dispatching an assassin all the way to Japan to ensure Dr. Wilson's silence. And Dr. Scythe won't say anything against Strongheart. But there's still one ray of hope! And his name is Nagito Komaeda! Actually, there is one person. Dilf on the stand! Dilf on the stand, let's go! One person who can still testify about that autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous. There's no one left.
Oh, there most certainly is. Who, Ryunosuke, who? Tell me! Love of my life? Kazuma, Please. This trial can't end, not yet. We're working together here. How could you forget about my baby girl? I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for the truth. Okay, but you can also do it for him, right? You can also, like, have we not been doing it for him this entire fucking time? Have we not been doing it for him the entire fucking time? Man, this meme is really over, isn't it? It's so over. This meme is dead. I can't believe it, it's dead. Man. He is not doing it for him. I am going to be so sick. I cannot believe this. I can't believe this. This silly little meme that I made, or I guess Kyle technically made it. Kyle did make it. I requested it because I was afraid of looking things up because of spoilers, but Kyle made this for me. Do it for the truth. Yes, do it for the truth. Do it for truth. That's the new meme. Yeah, I can't believe this. Apollo! Stop it! Sorry for yelling. Oh, bye. We gotta get rid of this.
Take that!
Friendship ended with Kazuma. The truth is my bestie now. Indeed. Okay, fuck you, man. An expert in forensic science and forensic medicine, my lord. Professor Yujin Mikotoba. 16 years ago. Oh, he looks so pretty. He looks so pretty. I'm gonna get rid of Jigoku. Oopsies! I can't do this to Jigoku. I want to get rid of Jigoku and my face so that we can stare at the pretty man. Strongheart is racist. Yeah, lots of racist people are here in Britain. Look how pretty he is. Look at that jawline. Yeah. Man, I can't believe this game is the only thing in the world that where you can learn that British people are racist. Or British people can be racist, I should say. Yeah. Shocked and appalled. It took until this game to realize that. Yeah. Sad.
But pretty. Pretty. And what could his testimony possibly tell us? Professor Mikotoba was the primary assistant during the autopsy in question. He was also the person who actually penned the report. Incorrect. The autopsy was carried out by the coroner, Dr. Wilson. The report carries his signature.
But it's not his fucking handwriting.
It was the primary assistant's duty to keep a written record of the coroner's work during the procedure. In actual fact, the coroner merely read over the report at the end and signed it.
In other words, Professor Mikotoba witnessed the entire autopsy from start to finish. The defense demands that Professor Mikotoba be Yay! Get my Pookie on the stand! Whatever really happened in that autopsy laboratory 10 years ago? Oops. Fuck you, overruled, guilty. Yeah, I'm surprised he's not going that route.
The defense's demand is denied. Fuck you, I do what I want. But Professor Mikotoba is in London at this very moment. We could summon him to the stand in minutes.
No, of course he's not going to agree to it. Strongheart has no intention of summoning anyone who knows. He's too concerned about protecting himself.
Prosecutor Isogi, let me refresh your memory, as you seem to have forgotten the prosecution's stance. Only minutes ago, you accused the defendant of being the Reaper and masterminding the assassin exchange.
I did, yes.
So present your evidence for those claims and make your case complete.
He doesn't have any. He doesn't have solid evidence. That's exactly why we need the witness testimony.
Pull some evidence out of your ass, Prosecutor Isogi. Cover mine! The professor case is closed. There are no clues in the distant past that will bolster your arguments today. I
I'm afraid to say, Prosecutor Asogi, that you would appear to be possessed by the spirit of your
Oh, he needs to go! Oh my god, how dare you! This is just vile. This is absolutely foul. Oh my god. I think Kazuma should be allowed to give him one little non-lethal stab with Karuma after this. Yeah, murder it is. Okay, that one kind of hurt. That one hurt me, too.
Now, as I stated earlier, this court has already reached a conclusion with respect to the matter at hand.
I'm just back to class, but so tempted to leave one of my headphones in. Oh no! I don't know how much longer we'll play. About how much left do I have in this case? Because you said I probably won't finish tonight, but I probably would tomorrow. So I'm wondering if there's like a good stopping point in the future. You should be allowed to... There's so much left. Okay. Are we close to a good stopping point then? So much. Jesus Christ. Insane amount left. We are at a nice stopping point. I guess when Mikotoba gets on, I'm assuming Mikotoba's gonna get on the stand, so we'll stop for that and we'll start with Pookie on the stand next time.
Inspector Gregson was murdered by Japanese Supreme Court Judge
I can't read.
As for any hidden circumstances that may exist, they will be investigated in due course by the proper authorities.
Right, this acting vengeance on Strongheart? Yes. I think he deserves it. Technically to be continued? Okay. Alright, that's fine. I can't do words. I'm tired, okay? My mouth is... I want to hit you with your own gavel. I want to shove that down your throat. But we all know what will happen. That'll just give the mastermind of the whole venture time to cover his tracks again.
By which you mean me? Your punishment for this contemptible behavior will be decided at a later date. As for you, Prosecutor Asogi, you will be remanded the following these proceedings. Willingly, I trust, since you gave your word.
We need to take him down together.
This futile game of revenge is over, young Master Asogi.
No, no, no! Pookie, no! Pookie, no! No, no, no! No, baby girl, no! His entire life's purpose just being thrown away like that, being shut down. How dare you? I'm gonna start crying. Let's go! Turn this shit up! Let's go! Turn it up! Let's go! Shaking my ass and tapping my feet to this. Hey, girl!
This is no place for amateur detection, Mr.
How dare you call him an amateur?
May I remind you that these proceedings are closed to the general public? You will leave the courtroom.
Did he just like break in? Like, you know what? I want to put it past him. He can break a lock in under 5 seconds. Mr. Sholmes was instrumental in the apprehension of Seishiro Jigoku before he fled from Europe. The court should hear what he has to say. Lord Mayor Strongheart, it's imperative that you refrain from bringing this trial to an end at this stage.
Is it really? And why would that be?
You need to only recall your own words from the opening of the trial to answer that question. If I may...
We will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
Surely it can't be that the shock of being accused of being the Reaper yourself has erased that from your memory. Drag him!
The whole truth, sir, has already been uncovered.
You're full of shit. It would seem that we have a great many important members of the judiciary present here today. Oh yeah, and with this angle you can see he's like with the leg popped like that. I put it to you, my dear fellows, should the trial end at this juncture? No! After all, Why have you been invited to attend? To nod along to the prevarications of your superiors? Yes, he said, fight the power. Pussy facing the world stance. Her lap was sitting coughs the entire. Yes, it cost them a bunch of pussies. You know what? That's so cunty of him. I love that.
Order in the court.
It seems to me that we stand before a door that leads to a new era of legal practices. A door that is ajar. I don't think it's ajar, I think it's a door. I'm sorry. Let us emerge from the shadows of the Reaper's decade-long ascendancy. The ajar. I'm sorry. Do you make it at the same point in the game? For you and you alone, my dear fellows, have the power to push this door open right now.
The auditors in the gallery have no rights to express an opinion on court proceedings. Silence.
Wow, bro just said they don't have rights. The Jordar, the Jordar paradox. I need to stop. I make it every single time I see the word ajar. Ultimate comrade Herlock Sholmes, let's go! This is Van Zieks, this is not your trial, this is our trial. Look, they're all hyped! Go on, summon the witness! Put the DILF on the stand! We need to clear this up. Put the DILF on the stand! DILF on the stand! DILF on the stand! He looks so a little bit of hope in his face. He's feeling hopeful. Like, just in his eyes and his face, he's just like, he's seeing like a little ray of hope. It's not over for you, bestie! Girls swing Cosima Selkie! Why do I feel like I'm about to tear up again? That's twice, with the family and then... I love him so much. I love him so much. He needs a little forehead smooshy, he does. A toast to my dependable colleagues in the gallery. Shaking my ass to the testify chant. Girls in Kazuma Sogi. Well, my lord, you hear the voice of British justice, I take it. I think you'll find it'll be rather awkward to silence. Yeah, fuck you!
The court will recess briefly. I have no intention of shrinking from these allegations.
Why is just a single sprite making me want to cry? Like, I didn't feel like I was gonna cry at his comeback because I already kind of figured out it was him, but still, I felt emotional, but like I didn't feel like I was about to cry per se, but now I do. I just... Yes, he needs a little smoochie. This is my girlfriend, everybody, and I love her so much. Mwah. Head pats, little smoochies.
Bailiff, arrange for the subpoena of the witness at once. As soon as the gentleman arrives at the courthouse, we shall reconvene.
A recess won't be necessary, my lord.
Pardon?
Mikotoba is a close friend of mine. He accompanied me today and is waiting in the antechamber as we speak. I do believe he's enjoying a little trip down memory lane, in fact. What? Professor Mikotoba's here in the courthouse? Stronger replaced by Santa, yes. Mr. Sholmes, you didn't know this would happen. Oh, he absolutely did. My dear fellow, no one is in a better position to answer that question than you, surely. I wasn't just asking for the fun of it, you know?
Well, I must thank you for your assistance in this matter, Mr. Sholmes. However,
Obviously you say Herlock is dumb. He is so smart! He acts silly, but people actually call him dumb? He acts silly, but silly does not equal dumb. Those are two very different things.
you'll have no further use here. Kindly leave the courtroom at once.
But of course, in truth, I find myself rather busy now as a result of these developments. Mr. Naruhodo! I feel like he should say toodaloo as he leaves. They finish the game and still think he's stupid? That's so dumb. Literally, yeah, it's without the clueless pretense. Yeah! So many people take the facade as truth? Wow. 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 I don't... How? How? I trust you have Iris's little lucky charm with you. Yes, I have the Banui! She sends her regards and a reminder. If you find yourself at a dead end, the ears are at your disposal. Just one tug, if you please. Oh, of course! They're the same people who call Phoenix stupid? Oh, jeez. Phoenix stupid? I mean, he is a little, like... He is, like, a little clueless sometimes in court, especially early on when he's just starting out as a lawyer, but obviously he learns as he goes along, and, like, he figures things out along the way. He makes all these connections and everything, like, he literally solves all these cases and everything, you know? Like, wow. If there are no class, yeah, that was the only time he was ever actually dubbed, was as Feeny, but as Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Yeah, he's overworked and new, but he's sharp, exactly, yeah. He's got a good eye for these kinds of things, and making connections, like, he doesn't... I mean, he doesn't need, like, encouragement from, like, Mia and, like, the assistants and everything all the time. Like, he figures stuff out on his own! He's a smart lad! He could have made it through law school if he was not a smart lad.
In that case, the trial will continue without delay. Bailiff, show the witness to the stand.
If Herlock is so smart, why doesn't he solve anything? Oh my god, live BBC show, I should watch that now. Phoenix and Rising Going solves sometimes the way, yeah. It's because he solves everything? Yeah. For everything to be perfect, like, that's not exciting. For there to be little, like, holes and, like, theories and thoughts and everything, like, if you solve everything immediately, like, where's the fun in that, you know? So it's Lord Strongheart, he's the Reaper of the Bailey. Where exactly is this trial going to take me, I wonder? Just how deep am I about to be plunged into the blackness of the abyss? Well, I'm ready. I'm ready to head into the heart of this maelstrom. That's a pun, isn't it? This maelstrong heart. Ha ha! Pun. Yeah, so yeah. While John Wanson was fucking around, I solved the entire case off screen. Fuck you. But if he just didn't have gameplay? Yeah, literally! That's what would happen here if he got everything right all the time, yeah. Alrighty. Alright, yeah, I got kidnapped again. Alright. Is part 3 the last part of the trial? Yeah. I think it is a good point to stop. I don't know. At this rate, will we be able to finish the game tomorrow? Alright, you said part 3 is the last part of the trial, right? Maybe? You said maybe finish it tomorrow? I should finish tomorrow, but then there's post-game. By that, do you just mean, like, all the dialogue and everything? There's a bit afterwards? Okay. I think that should be fine for the next stream, though. I think that should be fine for one stream, doing the trial in, like, whatever amount of time it takes. Like, 3 hours maximum, I would assume. And then... if there's another hour of, like the resolution and everything, like, that's fine. So, I think this is where we will pick up T-Bro. With the DILF on the stand. Ah! Oh my god! Not just the DILF, but my best friend? Oh, this is quite a collection of characters. I've met Maria Gori once, and I'm already calling her my best friend. But I love her. I'm thinking of maybe trying some voice lines for her for my voiceover class. Trying to work on some different character voices.
But yeah,
Oh boy, speaking of which, I do need to record some things with my voice all nice and warmed up. There are 3 cross-examinations and then 30 billion words. Okay, good to know, good to know. But we should definitely be on track to finish tomorrow, for sure. But this is it. We're in the home stretch now. We're really in it. We're really in it now. Do you see this shit, Jigoku? But yeah, I can't believe the do it for him is no longer a meme. I can't believe this is actually fucking plot relevant. God, Apollo really blesses me in the strangest of ways. Oh, Eugene, we really... I need a poster of him. Oh, Eugene, we really in it now. But yes, yes, but the truth! Yes! I will have to do that for sure! That's beautiful. But anyways, thank you all so much for being here. Let's see. Hold on. Is there anybody we can raid? Huh. Let's see. I believe Freezy is streaming now. I think she's going to finish Persona 5 Strikers tonight, so we'll send you over to her. Yeah, she's at the very end of Persona 5 Strikers. And yeah. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. We're really doing this tomorrow. This is the grand finale. We'll see. Kazuma may still be Ryu's boyfriend, but Ryu's formed his own identity. He would be so proud of him, yeah. He, like Phoenix, originally going to the law for a boy, but then, and literally all Woods, originally going to the law for a boy, and then finding their own identity along the way, discovering their own resolve as a lawyer, and fighting for the truth. So very much a Legally Blonde situation, in not just in the Mimi sense, but like in the sense that he really found his calling. Yes, Rip Ryunosuke, you would have loved Legally Blonde. Good thing your descendant is around for it though. But yeah, that was most definitely his that was his inspirational role. Rip Peepaw. He was so touched by that musical in theater school, and he was Elle Woods is his hero. But anyways, that's all. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you tomorrow for the finale!